Hello everybody, good afternoon or good lunchtime and welcome to the United Stand. Weird one here. Leeds against Manchester United, an actual football game. It feels a long time since Manchester United played a game, and I said this morning, I saw a lot of people saying this as well. I think that this lunchtime, it's very much about not being behind the club but being behind the players. It's not the players' fault, is it? That the players and the manager effectively have been as betrayed as we are, and I think they're probably as embarrassed as we are. So I think that, look, there's a statement I'm going to read out in a moment from I think it's either Leeds. I think I'll need these on anyway. The first thing I want to say is that there's so much going on, and you're so much part of it, and there's so much that we can do, and there's so much we fight for. But what we mustn't do is fall for the divide and conquer. I'm seeing a lot of divide and conquer. Now, divide and conquer isn't just people falling out. Divide and conquer, it's like that. Have you ever seen that film Star Wars? Stay on target, when he's in the X-Wing trying to shoot the shot into the Death Star to blow it up. Stay on target is so important, because it's not just about falling out with each other, which we shouldn't do. It's about all the other things that are going on to take you away from the target. Like in the UK, we've had this leak that the government might have had a chat with Ed Woodward about the Super League. It's totally contradictory anyway, because it's not the government's plan to do the Super League. It's the owners of Manchester United. And again, I thought Ed Woodward didn't know anything about it. So they're muddying the waters all the time. They're trying to take your distraction away. They'll try it with transfers. They'll try and throw blame at other people. But ultimately, there is no reason to move away from the target. Whether other people knew about it or not, whether we're going to buy players in the summer or not. Did our owners try and destroy football? Yes. Were they solely responsible for that? No, there was a few other billionaires involved, but that's the target. Do you think James will be penciled in for this game, says Ewan Black? I think there's a very good shout to maybe throw Dan James into this game, yeah. I want to talk about Solskjaer's comments as well. Some very interesting ones from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer last night, coming out from I actually heard somebody saying, and look, this sort of betrays how deep some people watch Manchester United and understand Manchester United. I'm not criticising them here, but you've got to be really careful. I saw a couple of people last night tweeting that funny how these quotes of Ollie talking about the Glazers come out after the protest. And I'm like, yeah, they're coming out after the protest because it's embargoed. He did the interview yesterday lunch. He did these quotes are from Friday lunchtime. There's just half of it that comes out on a Saturday night. He's not watched the protest and then gone and back to the Glazers, which is sort of what people were hinting at. So that's not happened. Of course, it's not happened at all. But look, there's a massive statement from Leeds. I'm going to read it out for you now. I'm just going to put the tweet out. Actually, I haven't tweeted this out. So look, thanks everyone for tuning in. A lot of people have said to me today, what do you feel about this with the Super League going on and the Super League debacle and everything like that? And my stance is very, very clear on this. I actually enjoyed watching the Chelsea West Ham game last night. I thought it had a really dodgy decision in it, but in some ways that brought us back to the thing that football's all about. So I'm glad to have football back, but it's not going to take me away from the things that are really important. So Mark, my bad yesterday. I hope United fans get a new owner so they make United great again and get the rivalry back. No worries, Zane. I think, look, it's an education for everybody. I'm learning things every day. And happy birthday if it is Zane's birthday, by the way. We've got no league teams leaked at the moment, but I do just want to read you this. I think people do leak quite a lot of information. Sorry, not leak. They do clip things up from the channel sometimes, and it's totally out of context. But if you're going to clip anything today, I would love you to clip this. This is from I don't know who it's from, but it's been put on the Leeds railings outside Leeds Football Club, and it's a really, really interesting thing that's been said. And as a Manchester United fan, I totally agree with them, even though I want to beat them today because I want Manchester United to beat Leeds, because I think it's the players, not the players' fault. I just wanted to say thanks for the great content every day, says Craig Thomas. I've had a rough 6 months, and you and the rest of the United Stand have pulled me through. Thanks, Craig. Big shout out to you. Make sure you smash a like on the video if you're watching. But look, listen to this. This has come from Leeds. It's come from a banner outside Leeds, and it says European Super League and Manchester United, just a tactical temporary withdrawal we see. Until your PR agents and media can refrain a package and construct... Sorry, let me get this right, because it's the way they've written it out. It's not easy to read as a flowing statement. So until your PR... So I'm not going to read it. Not going to bother reading it. Didn't get no sleep last night. Until your PR agents and media can reframe a package and construct an acceptable narrative and plan for your greedy, selfish followers to push this through in 2 years' time, we know who you are, and we know you from old. Manchester United, nonsense. What a joke. Find a new, more appropriate name. This was always coming, given the soulless, win-at-all-costs, plastic, shallow, selfish, worthless money monster you have made of yourselves. This is damning against Manchester United. Manchester United have fed off and divided, not united. Football and communities. You are killing football. Children should be encouraged to support their community and play fairly and not bully people by exclusion. The Leeds family is fully united with and is in full support of and shoulder to shoulder with all Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Tottenham fans, and with the few remaining Manchester United and Chelsea fans whose clubs have been hijacked by power mongers and shallow, weak-minded glory hunters. And together, we're fans united, will never be divided. We're fans united, will never be divided. Earn it on the pitch. Football is for the fans. Leeds United. So there you go. I mean, look, that's a really damning statement, because what it basically is saying, and I applaud that. I applaud that statement. I really do, because what it basically says is that Manchester United have tried to destroy football through greed. And I'm embarrassed, but I actually agree with that statement from whatever Leeds organisation it is. Because I do believe that they're going to come back. I do believe that they're almost like they're like robbing a bank and they've been caught. They're criminals in a sense in a footballing world, because they will come back. They've not seen the error of their ways. The error of their ways have been caught, and they will be back. And I think Leeds and everybody else fully expects them to come back. They will iron out the problems, and they will come back again with another greedy, elitist way for them to make money and screw everybody else over. So I do agree with that. And I think that, you know, they're not only calling Manchester United's owners out, they're also calling out some of us fans. They're saying, you know, we stand by these clubs and some of the few remaining Manchester United fans who aren't greedy, glory hunting plastics who want to bully other clubs. And maybe we do have fans like that in the fan base, but that's where I would jump in and say, oh, hold on a minute. I've not met a Manchester United fan yet who is pro this situation. And if Leeds United or Leicester City or West Ham United or Southampton fans are pissed off with Manchester United, we get it. But don't throw us into that category of being behind this, because I don't know any United fan who's behind what Manchester United have done. We're not. And I applaud Leeds for doing it, because it's, you know, there are victims in this other than United, Liverpool fans, Arsenal fans, whatever. There are the people that would have been the real victims of this. That would have been the clubs that have been left behind in a ridiculous situation. Vidant says, are you thinking about Super League career mode now? Love the content, keep it up, and the COVID situation is terrible here in India. Stay safe. Yeah, do stay safe in India. I know it's terrible numbers over there at the moment, so do what you can to isolate, stay away from people, and stop the spread of this horrible virus. Mark, I know you hate Donny, but you need to give him a chance. Don't know what you're on about. I mean, look, fair play, you've just given us a super chat, but I do wonder if you've wandered into the wrong channel, or you're just an idiot, or maybe you're just a troll. I hate Donny. Whatever. I'm moving on. Fake Zane in the chat, and it's not my birthday, says Amy Assey. Okay, no worries. So yeah, I mean, will Dan James play today or not? I don't know. I mean, look, the team news will be coming out in the next sort of 20 minutes time, of course. But I do think that Leeds statement is very good in many ways, because it highlights the frustration of other clubs. But do not throw Manchester United fans into it. And I think the one thing I would take exception with, for anybody who's not seen it, because we have got people obviously tuning in a little bit later, as I say, there is a banner outside Leeds Football Club, which is very accurate in saying that Manchester United nonsense, what a joke, find a new, more appropriate name. This is always coming, given the soulless, win at all costs, plastic, shallow, selfish, worthless money making monster you have made of yourselves. Man United are fed off and divided, not united, and they are saying that you'll try and push it through again. But this is where I disagree with it, because it says the Leeds family is fully united with, in full support of, and shoulder to shoulder with Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Spurs fans, and with the few remaining genuine Man United and Chelsea fans. We're not, I think Leeds have made that about. This is where you've got to be. Again, there's a really good message there. There's a really good message there that Leeds United fans are pissed off with what Manchester United have done. And I apologise for that, even though it's got nothing to do with this. I get that. It was a sin against football. But to say that there's only a few remaining good Manchester United fans is to totally not understand what Manchester United fans did from minute one of finding out about the Super League. I know of not any United fan that when the Super League came out went, you know what, this might look like a great idea. A great idea. I don't know any United fans that did that. So for Leeds to make it a bit about the rivalry, about, you know, it divide and conquers a bit. It starts to, it's dividing. You know what? I've said this a lot. It divide and conquers. Dividing and conquer can come from all sorts of areas. Leeds, that Leeds, whoever's behind that, very good statement. Apart from the bit that you're starting to say that United fans are part of this. Where's your evidence that United fans are pro the Super League? Where's that all about? No United fan is pro Super League. So, you know what? You make a good point and then you ruin it by making it about Leeds versus United, which is a rivalry we all, you know, dislike. You know, I don't want Leeds to win. I can't stand Leeds. They can't stand Man United in a footballing sense. But you make a really good, unified statement about Man United being run by cretins and greedy people. But you totally misjudge it by saying that United fans, you know, very few United fans are decent. I think every United fan has come out and condones this and stuck up for teams like Leeds in this situation. We were not proud of what our club did at all. If Man United get put into the 4th division of English football, do you think any senior players will stay? Well, that's not going to happen, Flux, is it? That's not going to happen. I mean, look, there are some other statements I do want to discuss, so we'll get into that in a minute. Can I just say as well, let me just move over here. I'm just checking my hair on screen. Not really. United stand picks just below me there. Links in the video description. You've got to be over 18 to play this, but it is free to play. We've got another £1,000 cash prize pot to give away. 12 questions, all to do with the Manchester United versus Leeds game. And they'll be all in-game questions. So it'll be like, will Bruno get an assist? Will Rashford score? Will we score in the first half? How many shots will there be? They're all game-related questions. 12 of them. There's a live leaderboard on the app that you can check how you're doing through the game, and the people obviously at the top of the leaderboard will share the £1,000 cash prize pot. If you've already downloaded it, you may as well play because it's free to play. You can play it every single game through United Stand Picks app. If you've not played it, download it, but you must be over 18 because we are giving away cash prizes, so therefore you've got to be over 18, but it is free to enter. Links are in the video description. Terms and conditions are there as well. Please play responsibly. You've got about an hour to enter before the before we get to kicking off of the game. I am doing a Carabao Cup watch along on That's Football, but that's a long way away. A long way away. So yeah, that's in there. So let me just come back to this screen for a moment and let me just grab some comments for you. I also think in relation to Leeds, they shouldn't be throwing stones out too much, because I seem to remember Leeds sort of spent a lot of money and nearly went bankrupt and got relegated because of a greedy Pratt owner. So, you know, the whole point of these protests is that we are trying to get football back into the hands of the fans. That's what we're trying to do here, and that is very, very important, of course. And if we do that, then future fans won't fall victim of what we have. So let me just read you some of Ollie's comments that came out on the press conference last night. I suppose the most important one would probably be this one. The owners of every club that signed up for this proposal have got a job on their hands. Of course they have. We've had an apology from Joel Glazer, and that's important. I mean, Have we had a real apology? I don't care. I mean, to be honest with you, in relation to that, I don't think Ollie's saying we've had an apology, we need to move on. He said the apology is important. But my personal stance on any apology from any of these clubs is that whether it's Manchester United, Liverpool or Arsenal, these apologies, they don't mean anything. You got caught and now you're apologetic because it's the quintessential archetypal reaction to when you've absolutely messed up. You've got to put a statement out there and apologise to try and win back trust. Well, you can shove your apology up your arse, and I'm not interested in that. But Solskjaer's in a very difficult position, and we should not be focusing on Solskjaer. And I suppose, look, he does go on to say, this is from Solskjaer's press conference, I've had an open and good relationship with the Glazers and they've been very supportive of me. They've backed me. It's all about improving the club, the infrastructure, the facilities and the squad. I'm very confident they will remain committed. Ollie is talking out his arse there. Absolutely talking out his arse. And I've been critical of Solskjaer in the past, as you know. But I am very, very focused on not dividing and conquering. I am very, very focused on what is important. Woody's got a hat-trick! Oh, shut up, Goldbridge and your Super League crap! Woody for the Golden Boots! Sign him up for the Euros for England. I know he's from New Zealand, but he's that good. It is a hat-trick for Wood. Anyway, Dan Kelly, I digress. Excited for game today, but like most, there's an incredibly bitter taste in my mouth from now till the end, till the long future. Unnecessary dig from Leeds fans, says Dan Kelly. I agree with you on that one. I've always thought the level of Leeds fans' vitriol towards United is because they know deep down they are our only third choice rivalries. Look, Meb, you speak to any United fan that, goes home and away and has gone home and away when we've gone to Leeds. I've never been away as a United fan at Leeds. I don't pretend to do that. I am what I am. You are what you are. Some people think they're better than others. I don't. But I think there are some fascinating stories, and I've spoken to a few United fans about Leeds. And before they got promoted, they've mentioned Leeds to me. So it wasn't that Leeds got promoted that brought it onto the equation. They mentioned Leeds away. And I remember speaking to Tony O'Neill, who does the Webby and O'Neill channel, a couple of years ago, and he was talking about fan cams, and he said, whatever people think about fan cams, you'll never be able to do fan cams at a Leeds away, and he said it's just it's something different, Leeds, and it is vitriol, like you say, and it is proper hate. And I think that comment that they've put out is a good comment on the banner, but they ruin it a little bit with their hate towards Manchester United fans. But in a way, that's football, isn't it? I don't think we need to get into that because it moves away from the focus, doesn't it? But going back to what Ollie said, I can pick the bones out of this. I can pick the bones out of this quite easily. Mark, should we really be watching this game as we continue to feed the Glazers' pockets? We're in a really difficult place as fans now, says Agana. Well, yeah, there may look, you make a good point there. There may become a time when we don't watch a game, where we all, as a Man United fan base, try and get as many people as possible to not go to games, to unsubscribe from Sky. That sort of thing can happen, but there's no point in just doing it off your own cuff now. I personally think that we've got a new sponsor. I'm just throwing this out now. I don't know whether anyone else has said it. We've got a new sponsor. I'm very suspicious that a new sponsor would agree to pay Manchester United loads of money, and then we go in a Super League, and then they'll go, that's a breach of contract. I think the new sponsor knew about the Super League before fans, Ollie, and the players. I've got no evidence to that, but why would a new sponsor sign up to Manchester United over the next few years and then be told, oh, we're not in the Premier League anymore, we're not in the Champions League? How would they not know? So also, there's a real opportunity there with the new sponsor because the new kits are coming out with the new sponsor. What an impact it would be if that new sponsor's shirt only gets seen by when Man United play games. Nobody buys the shirt. I think that's a massive thing that you can do. And we can push it together and we can get other people, hopefully will get involved in it. But don't buy any new United merchandise. And certainly don't buy the new kit. I don't care if it looks like the best thing you've ever seen. Don't buy the kit because that'll piss the sponsor off. It'll piss Adidas off and ultimately it will hurt the Glazers. So that sort of a thing is really important. But we need to be united on it. Dan Kelly says, I'm excited for the game today, but no, he's read that. I've read that one. Mark, should we? Yeah, we've read that one as well. Thanks for the super chats that are coming in. But going back to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's comments, can I just say that Solskjaer says, I've had an open and good relationship with them, the Glazers, and they've been very supportive of me. They've backed me. It's all about improving the club, the infrastructure, the facilities and the squad, and I'm confident they will remain committed. Now, I understand why some United fans might get angry with Ollie in that situation. I'm not angry at all. He's talking out of his arse, but I don't hold it against him because he's in a situation where he either publicly sides with the fans and gets the sack, or he plays both sides and stays in the role and, ultimately wants the best for Manchester United. So I don't think... Look, if I come out, or a United fan comes out and says the Glazers, Woodward, they're a bunch of lying, greeding shits, we don't want them anywhere near the club, probably going to get a lot of people going, yeah, he's spot on. Solskjaer may think that. He certainly can't do it. And anyone who expects him to come out and do it is wrong. And people might say he can't say anything. But remember now, we're in a world where journalists are changing their tune. Journalists are trying to make everybody think Woodward knew nothing about it. Who do you think's behind this? They employed somebody 18 months ago called Neil Ashton, who is clearly in charge of PR at Manchester United. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will not be allowed to sit in his office and say, no, I'm not saying anything positive. They'll be telling him he's got to say things. And when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer comes out with, I've had an open and good relationship with the Glazers, great. They've been very supportive of me and they've backed me. No, they haven't, Ollie. I mean, straight away, you're lying. They haven't backed you. You wanted Sancho last summer. You didn't get a right winger. You wanted a centre-back last summer. You didn't get a centre-back. You didn't want Cavani. You just ended up with it because it was better than nothing. Don't pretend that they backed you because they haven't. And you talk about improving the club, the infrastructure and the facilities. Our youth setup has been left for 10 years. It's only recently that it started to be restructured. Old Trafford is rusty. It's got leaks. Like, they are not building the infrastructure. They are not backing you. So I feel sorry for him that he has to put a statement out like that because it's absolutely nonsense. But don't attack Ollie for it. He's being told to do it. If he genuinely believes that, then what's he talking about? He's not been backed. There isn't any infrastructure at Manchester United. It's a farce, an absolute farce. So we shouldn't believe it, and I don't believe it. And I don't think many people do, to be honest with you. Get rid of that. Right, team news will be coming in very, very soon. Team news, apparently, Henderson, Shaw, Maguire, Lindelof, McTominay, Fred, Bruno, Greenwood, Rashford, James, says Mohammed. Well, you're never right, Mohammed, so I'm not going to go with you. Thought on Wood's hat-trick, I haven't got it on telly. Apparently, I have heard that there's going to be a plane flying over Old Trafford. Not Old Trafford, that would be pointless. There's going to be a plane flying over Old Ellen Road today, so keep an eye out for that. And if you see pictures of it, definitely give it a retweet. Look, people might be against the plane flying over. We've done it before. Does it make any difference? Does a protest make any difference? Like, this is... We could have 100,000 people at Old Trafford next week. And I hope that we do. I hope that we get 5. I hope that we get 10. It won't necessarily mean the Glazers are going to sell. It's going to have to be more sustained than that. There's going to have to be a lot more going on that. But every little helps. Flex told me at the protest yesterday that I look like Luke Shaw. It's all over Twitter, says John. I saw you. You do. You're in the background. Buy my kit for next year from Cheetham Hill. If you know, you know. And if you don't, Google it, says Joshua Bowater. Just don't buy the kit next year. If you want to help, don't buy the new kit. Because the new sponsors will shit themselves. And Adidas will as well. So, you know, there are a lot of sponsors for Manchester United. I'm sure this is what organisations around Manchester United can help with, and we can certainly spread the word. How hard is it to get a list of Man United sponsors and just say, right, we're not buying anything from any of them people, and everyone knows about it? There's lots that can be done, but as I said, it's going to be a marathon, not a sprint, and there's loads and loads that we can do. Right, so that sort of caught us up on that. The issues continue. Pogba is apparently on the bench today, and that it will be because Rashford's going to start. Dan James is set to start. Apparently, the Leeds team, the Manchester United side, is Henderson, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, Shaw, McTominay, Fred, Bruno, Rashford, Greenwood, Dan James. He's going for pace on the break, isn't he? Rashford, Greenwood, and James. No Cavani as well, if that's the case. Which is interesting. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Official team news, not necessarily getting leaked as much as it used to, but I've read that one out. That's the one I read as well. Okay. do you really want to get angry about team news? I mean, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here. If the team news comes out and Pogba's on the bench, is it okay to say, what are you doing, Ollie? Why is he on the bench? You almost feel like, I don't know whether I'm allowed to do that at the moment. Am I meant to just be 100% behind the team even if they lose 4-0 and he picks bad teams and we play bad tactics? I don't think we are. I think that would be fake. I think we are allowed to say I don't agree with that team. I think if we have a bad midfield and they perform badly like McFred tend to do, I think we've got a right to say that. What I would say is that they played very well in the last game against Leeds, and so did Dan James. So, I think we are allowed to move on and focus on the team. I think that's absolutely fine. I mean, look, football is nothing without the fans is the quote that Marcus Rashford retweeted that Sir Matt Busby said. Football is nothing without the fans, and if we're going to be fans, we've got to be true and treat it as a normal thing, haven't we? So I don't think there's any issue being critical. I think what we mustn't do is start going Ollie out and stuff like that. I think that's too far. But criticism. I think that's absolutely fine. Pogba might be fasting, Mark, says DMX. Well, he will be, won't he? Yeah. He will be. But Salah was yesterday as well. We've had players fasting in the past and play football. I mean, he's had a week off as well, hasn't he? So it's not like he's having to... lots of footballers still play football when they're fasting, is what I'm trying to say. It could be a factor, but there must be a reason. There must be a reason to not pick Paul Pogba. I would argue, but Carrick fan says Leeds can fuck off. We're about 4 minutes away from the official team news coming in. There is meant to be a plane flying over as well. But this is more or less the same team that did beat Leeds last time. So Sheffield United have beaten Brighton. I'm not fasting, no. Is that the team? Now, the team on the screen, I need to sort of change it actually, because I am going to change it. I think it's always important to react to what is a leaked team if you think it might have something in it. So I am going to change it here. So there'll be no Pogba and there'd be no Cavani. There would be a Dan James, who I think in relation to Dan James, you can sort of say that with regards to Dan James, it is the sort of game that if you're going to pick Dan James, you pick him in a game like this. There's probably 2 games a season that you can definitely start Dan James and expect him to have an impact. And today would be one of them. It's definitely a meep game. It is a meep game. So that's the team there, isn't it? That's what it is. I mean, look, absolutely no issues with Dean Henderson being in goal. I said that in the preview. It should be Dean Henderson and David De Gea in the league. Shout out to Sean and Tarkovsky on the result today, says Callum Turner.
Well, yeah, Callum, yeah. I mean, look, I'm glad somebody appreciates what's going on at Burnley, because we've had the Super League, but I've got super players and I've got superpowers. And that's why I talk like this, because I am a Marvel genius. I should be on Marvel, Deitch. I should be up there with Captain America. Woody and Tarkovsky today, absolutely fantastic. People think Leeds Man United's a good game. Check that out on Match of the Day tonight. That's all you need. I'm off for a fizzy Benlin. See you in a bit.
That hurt more than I wanted it to. But yeah, so team news is going to come out in 2 minutes. That looks like it's the team on the left-hand side. Remember to play United Stand Picks if you're over 18. If you've already downloaded it, you may as well play it because it's free to play. If you've not downloaded it, it's free to play, but you must be over 18. Another £1,000 cash prize being given away. Cash prize pot, should I say. Terms and conditions are in the video description. You must be over 18 to play because we are giving away cash prizes. 12 questions to do with the Manchester United versus Leeds game. There's an in-game live leaderboard so you can see how you're doing during the game, and the questions will be things like, will Bruno get an assist, will Rashford score, will we score in the first half, and you get points for every question you get right. So link in the video description for United Stand Picks. Make sure you give it a go. Maybe he's resting Pogba. Rashford hasn't trained all week, says Niall. I know, but look, he doesn't look. Thanks for the super chat from Ben Maguire. He doesn't learn with Marcus Rashford. After an exhausting week, I'm ready to have a laugh. Come on, United, says PMV Patrick. You and me both, mate. You and me both. And maybe this week has made the people that were leaking team news in the dressing room begin to change and start back in the club and not the owners, says Sam Ray. Maybe, although there does seem to be a bit of a leaked team coming out, to be fair, and I expect it's going to be the team that's on the screen. We've got a United 11 coming out, and it's Henderson, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, McTominay, Fred, James, Bruno, Rashford, Greenwood. So Pogba and Cavani rested for the semi-final, it seems. But look, this is the team that's beaten Leeds before. It's the one game this season where I really thought McFred played well. Like, they absolutely ran that midfield. So, maybe Ollie's sort of like, look, he needs to don't forget, but with regards to the Super League, obviously we've got a match going on. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to influence the fans around McFred. Like, most fans just do not rate them as a pairing. I think neither of them are CDMs. And the one game of the season where they played well was Leeds, and he's obsessed by McFred as much as he's obsessed by Magaluf. So he's got to stick with them, and today is an opportunity for, maybe McTominay gets a couple of goals, maybe Dan James has a good game. There's a lot of space against Leeds, and Dan James is a Manchester United player, and if you're going to pick him, today is the day to do it. So, playing professional football when fasting isn't easy. We're talking about on average 16 to 17 hours without a drop of water, says Yazza said. It is very difficult, Yazza. It is very difficult, and that may well be the reason for it. So we will see. We'll see. Mark, thank you for reading out that Leeds banner at the start. I know, don't give a crap, and hope we absolutely smash them. I'm tired of getting beaten over the head for something I had no say in, says Nick P. Well, yeah, look, that Leeds statement was very good. For those people who've joined in a little bit late, the Leeds statement was very good. It was very damning of Manchester United's owners for trying to ruin football in a summary. But then it went in and said that, the minority of United fans are good, but the vast majority are not. And that's a load of bollocks. It's got nothing to do with us. Every Manchester United fan I know instantly came out against the Super League and was instantly furious with our owners. So for Leeds fans to think that we're part of the problem, to me it just portrays the disdain that they do have for us, really. And I don't really need that at the moment. Why don't you try fasting for a day, Mark? Could be a nice video idea, says Mo Designs. Actually, I think you're right. So the team is confirmed on the screen. That is the team. I will tell you what the bench is as well, because obviously I think the bench will be quite strong for Manchester United, and it is. It's got De Gea, Telles, Bailly, Twansebi, Mata, Matic, Pogba, Van der Beek and Cavani. Very, very strong bench. Obviously Diallo is not getting on the bench now. Brandon Williams doesn't get on the bench now either, because we've still got people like Mata and Matic at the club who need to be moved on. That is a strong bench, but I still think there's a lot of deadwood on it. I really do. I think there's deadwood on that team, and I'd like to see a little bit more youth on there. But when you look at the starting 11 and then you look at the bench, the amount of experience we've got on that team, the amount of wages we're paying on that bench. I mean, De Gea's on 350k a week. Telles is probably on about 100, so that's 350. Bay's probably on about 100, that's 450. Twansebi, I don't really know, let's say maybe 50, 500,000. Mata's on 140, 640,000. Matic must be on about 100 as well, so 740. Pogba's on about 260, that's a million. Van der Beek's on about 100,000, and Cavani's on... It's about 1.3 million pounds of wages on that bench. Mad! Absolutely mad, isn't it? It is 1.3 million on Man United's bench. I'm gonna tweet that. I think that's a banging tweet. About 1 point, somebody said more like 1.4. I think you're underestimating, but definitely 1.3. Massive amount of... but to be honest with you, I look at that bench. Van der Beek's good, Cavani's good, Pogba's good, De Gea's good. I like Twansebi and Bay. I just think Matic and Mata need to move on, to be honest with you. The Red Devil says, I'm already bored seeing McFred. Not because I agree with you, but just I think we need, for a couple of hours today, we do need a bit of this. We do need a little bit of football. We definitely do. And I don't think there's anything wrong getting back into, because if we're going to treat the players and the manager as separate to the big problem, then when the players are playing, you need to consume yourself in that. You can't just go, I hate the Glazers, I want to get rid of the Glazers. My football team's playing, everything's great. If we're not going to put any blame on the players and the manager, which we're not, then therefore we treat them as footballers playing football. And therefore, if players are playing that you don't want, or you don't like the tactics or anything like that, I think that's absolutely fine. So I would applaud that. I think when we're watching United now, they're absolved of any blame in relation to these greedy shits we've got in charge, and they will hopefully be dealt with. But in relation to the team, this is what we love football for, and you've got to watch it in the pure way. That's what you've got to do. So I applaud people doing that. I do. I mean, look, the Greenwood thing's quite interesting. Do you like Greenwood on the wing, or do you like him up front? I actually do want to see Mason Greenwood playing up front a little bit more. I really do. I do like Greenwood playing up front. And obviously we know that Cavani's going to leave in the summer. So a lot of people will say, well, why is Cavani not starting? And I'm sure Cavani will start against Roma because it's Italian opposition, and Cavani's an international striker, so he'll be used to that. So this is a good game for Greenwood. If you're throwing Dan James into the team, why not throw Mason Greenwood in up front? Because there's going to be space. I'm looking forward to this game in a footballing sense. I'm looking forward to it in a rivalry sense, but I'm also looking forward to it in a footballing sense because Leeds are always a good team to watch. James and McFred picked due to last game versus Leeds, says Salah Ahmed. Riola was involved in the Super League. Pogba or any Riola client didn't say a word. Did Pogba know about it and any other player or manager didn't, says Sarvish. Leeds play like an F1 car with no brakes. Heart attack football, says Liam Deegan. Yeah, looking forward to it, Liam, actually. Do you think De Gea is now playing in Europe as it is more important considering our league position? I don't know, Ollie. I don't really know what's going on with the goalkeeping situation. I mean, I don't think Dean Henderson played particularly well last week, but I think he should continue in goal for the Premier League because you need to see if he can bounce back from that. If we get the Glazers out, can we get the Ollie Outers out next? They are as much an affront to the club, in my opinion. Well, they're not. They're not, Skiers, at all. People having an opinion on the team and the manager and individuals, I do not have a problem with. We don't want to create a dictatorship. That's not what we want to create. I've been going to football for decades, and every football match I've been to, you've always had fans moaning and shouting at their players because it's entertainment, it's theatre. You don't want to remove people because they have a different opinion to you. That's a dictatorship, and that's what we're trying to remove at the top of the club. If you want to be my gaffer, you've got to get rid of McFred, says Paul Carrera. And such a depressing week. I really need a good match to pick me up, says John O'Neill. I think it's the perfect game to pick you up, Dan. John, I do. I think Manchester United against Leeds has got something to it anyway. There should be some tasty tackles in. The way Leeds play football, I think it will be very, very interesting because they play in a very attacking way. And I think we'll get a good game. I mean, it was 6-2 last time. I think there'll be a lot of goals in it. I don't think... What was my score prediction from the preview? God, it's been such a whirlwind week. I did give a score prediction. I just can't remember what it was. I think I said 3-2 to United. Regardless of my anger towards the owners of the club, watching United play against Leeds in the Prem the way it's meant to be is a big sigh of relief, says Olu. Big shout out to Olu, and thanks for the super chat on that one. I did say 3-2. Thanks everyone for reminding me. Nearly 20,000 watching, which is great. Please do smash a like on the video. You are very, very welcome for tuning in as ever. Appreciate it. And make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. A lot of people going with 3-2. Manchester United might lose. Look, to be honest with you, from the Super League teams so far, only Spurs and... Well, Chelsea have drawn. Chelsea won last night, but they drew in the week. Liverpool have drawn 2. Spurs won. Man City. I mean, there might be a bit of a hangover. Who wins our starting 4 defenders with the starting front 6? Our starting defence with the front 6 from our bench, says Hader Hamand. It depends how Leeds approach this game. I mean, I think Manchester United are counter-attack FC. I would agree with that. I think we are counter-attack FC. We were at Old Trafford, and I think away from home we'll do that again. But look, I'm interested. I mean, I don't think we're going to learn anything today. Well, that's not fair. You're always going to learn something, but we have seen Dan James play well against Leeds, and we have seen Scott McTominay and Fred play well against Leeds. If they have a really good game today, I would be like, right, they definitely suit a certain type of football, don't they? Because they haven't played. I don't think McFred have played well since Leeds, which is what, 4 months ago. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think it is. It's 4-0 to bloody Burnley. It's like, are they sure they're not playing me on FIFA? What's going on with Burnley there? It's actually 3-0. Okay. Pogba on the bench is interesting, says Rashi. It could be something to do with him fasting. It could be. You know, I'm sure we will get some quotes coming in from Ollie in a minute. I would not be risking Rashford in this game at all, says Mark Callahan. No, I think that's a real surprise by Ollie again. Look, I don't have any emotion in me to be negative about Ollie anyway at the moment, because I think we've had such a soul-destroying week in relation to our owners. But I can talk pragmatically, and I can talk about what I already know. I don't really talk with it with much passion or anything like that. But look, Marcus Rashford wants to play every game. I've been a footballer, you've been a footballer, whether you're playing Sunday morning or down, whether you've got 5-a-side tomorrow night with your mates or not. If you're sat here today, right, and your calf is really hurting you, and realistically you know you shouldn't go and play 5-a-side with your mates, but you want to play, you'll be playing tomorrow night with your calf. Some people won't. Some people will go, got to look after my body, I'm not going to do it. But a lot of us will go, I'm playing. I like playing 5-a-side on a Monday with my mates. My calf really, really hurts, but I'll be all right. I'll play through the pain. That's Marcus Rashford. He wants to play for Manchester United. He wants to play through the pain. Manchester United I don't think Manchester United protect Marcus Rashford enough. I don't, and I think the evidence is there. I'm not in the medical room. I'm not training him, but when we're constantly being told that he's not trained for a week, he's not trained since the last game, and then we're throwing him into games, I think there might be a little bit of a hint there. He's not training in between games, and then you're starting him in games. Do we need to start Marcus Rashford against Leeds? We're 11 points away from 4th place, aren't we? Something like that. We're in a very, very comfortable position, and we've also got quality players that could play instead of him. So I do think that we overplay Rashford. I mean, what's the value of playing Rashford today? He might score a couple of goals and a 6-0 win, but would we not beat them without Rashford? Or would it be... So look, I do agree with that. Mark, why does Ollie keep playing McFred? This is why he's not a Man United manager, not good enough, says Jay Ling's fan. Deitch in, says Adam Lees. I do think as well in relation to Donny, I mean, look, people can talk about Rashford all they like. I think in relation to Donny, he's not going to play in the Europa League, is he? And again, what we're going to get with Donny van der Beek is, and I feared this week, and I said it, I probably didn't say it this week because of the Super League, but my fear with Donny van der Beek is that he played well when he came on in the last game, and he played well when he came on the game before that, but it's half an hour, it's 10 minutes, he never gets a chance to build on it. And if he's not starting today, he's definitely not going to start in the next 2 games, because Donny van der Beek will not be starting for another 3 or 4 weeks. He may not even start again this season. He might get half an hour, but when's he going to build on it? Because every time we use him, I see a really good player, but he's not going to get better if we don't use him more. Well, if he's not playing today, he's not starting against Roma. He won't start against Liverpool, and he won't start against Roma in the other game. So it's so hard to get momentum, because every time he comes on he does well, but he never gets to build on that momentum, and then it might be 3 or 4 weeks before we see him again, and then if he doesn't do well, people will be like, he's not good enough. But he never seems to get the chance to build on his momentum. Like, I feel that there's a shout that he could have started today. If Pogba's not starting and Cavani's not starting and Donny still isn't starting, when does he get a start? I mean, why is Dan James playing today? What's Dan James done in the last 3 weeks? Nothing. Now, Dan James had a good run about a month ago, but recently Dan James hasn't done anything. So Dan James comes into the team because he played well against Leeds 4 months ago, but Donny van der Beek played well last week. Like, when is Donny van der Beek going to get a chance? to build on the talent that he is. And I think I do understand that frustration at times, because I just feel frustrated for him that he's not getting the opportunity to build on his momentum, I suppose. That's what I would say. He doesn't get the opportunity to build on his momentum. And it's very hard to build on momentum when you play for 20 minutes. Then you might not get another 20 minutes for a couple of weeks. Just tested positive for corona. A win this morning will make me feel much better. Pray for me, says Axel. Get plenty of rest, Axel. And I'm sure you're going to get a lot of love and support in the live comments. So yeah, I hope you're doing well with that. And, you know, some people test positive and don't get many symptoms. So we are hopeful for you. We pray for you. Mark, Donny has to play today as Pogba's fasting and won't be able to eat or drink, says Sion. Well, he's not playing, Sean. Mark, you said James would be perfect for Leeds, then he starts and that's not good, says Caroline. No, Caroline, I think you're missing the point, Caroline. We're having a conversation because a lot of people are saying, well, why is Donny not starting again? And I'm empathising with that. There is a bigger picture with Donny van der Beek. I understand why he's picked Dan James today, because I think if there's 2 games a season where you can start Dan James, it's Leeds. But on the other hand, I also would say, well, why you could play Dan James on the right and put Donny off the left where Pogba played and not played Rashford. So it's not, the point about Dan James stands because he's not played for a few weeks, but he comes back into the team because he played well against Leeds a few months ago. But Donny van der Beek never gets that treatment. He never seems to, no matter what he does, he doesn't seem to get that treatment. And I'd say the same about Axel Tuanzebe as well. People come into the team and they do well, but they're straight out the team. And I don't know how, I mean, Axel Tuanzebe could be our best centre-back. He's never going to get the opportunity to build on it, is he? Donny van der Beek, when are these opportunities going to come? So I do understand that. Are you going to the protests? Mark, says Phil Merkel. I'm not going to read that. I'm not reading that name. I know exactly what. It's one of them stupid names where they go, put 2 words together. I'm not thick. I'm just not thick. It's not going to work. Thoughts on Diallo at the moment, says Barnaby. Well, look, I've said this before. I'm not going to lose sleep about this. Hi Mark, how are you keeping up after all the havoc, says Gander? Good. I'm looking forward to the game today. I'm very excited about the game. You know, focus on a game of football and release some of the tension, really. I think actually you might find with this game today, you enjoy it more than you think, because there's so much built up frustration. And what better than to let it out watching your team play football? So I think that it might be a very interesting watch along today, to be fair. My thoughts on Diallo, I mean, look, I can't get angry or frustrated about something that I've predicted and said for a long time. I love Juan Mata, and I do like Nemanja Matic, but for me they should be coaches, not players. They're not. If we want them involved for their experience, give them a coaching job. But as footballers, I think they are blockers. I think they block people now because they're on a lot of money and they're sat on the bench. And where can Diallo get on that bench? Like where could Hannibal get on that bench? Ollie talks about the youth, but he's totally got to solve a massive problem there. There are a lot of spaces on that bench, and there is no young player on it. And how, you know, Diallo's another player. He came on in a Europa League game and scored a very important goal. When's he been used since then? Really, he hasn't. So it's like It's not like these. It's not like these players are performing badly and we want them to be given another chance. I think a lot of these players, Axel Tuanzebe, Amad Diallo, Donny van der Beek, when we've used them, they've done well. But they're struggling to get game time. They really are. And look, it might change next season, but I don't think it's going to change now. It's not a massive frustration for me, but I do. It is a bit of a frustration. It is a bit of a frustration because I think they should be getting more game time. Especially if we're absolutely honest. You know, Tuanzebe's a centre back. I don't think anybody's overjoyed by Magaluf. Van der Beek is a midfielder, and I think the midfield at times doesn't work, as we know, especially around the pivot. And Diallo, well, we don't really have many wingers. So there are three players there that I think have done really well, that can be a big part of our future, that should be getting more game time. Do you really think Man United will win the Europa League? I have my doubts because of our semi-final performances, says Antonio. I think we're going to win today, and I think we'll beat Roma. I'll be absolutely stunned if we don't beat Roma. I do think we'll beat Roma. I think the final will be a concern. I'm not being arrogant against Roma, but I do think we'll win. Do you think Ollie swapped De Gea for Henderson because he wants to win a trophy, and De Gea is clearly the better keeper, so now he's in the cup, says Darman. Don't let Samuel Luckhurst hear that. He'll be crying. He'll be writing an article right now. We're putting a tweet out. I don't know is the honest answer where Ollie sits on Henderson. I think you could, and De Gea. I think you make a good argument. Maybe David De Gea has been moved to the cup because he's, that's the one we want to win. Maybe he's been moved to the cup because he's going to go in the summer and he wants him. He deserves a trophy or a medal. Maybe Henderson's the goalkeeper in the Premier League because that means he's number one. Maybe he's not made his mind up yet. Maybe we'll get to the Europa League Cup final and he'll put Henderson in goal. So I don't know. I don't have the answer on that. All I know is that I think David De Gea has been a really good goalkeeper for us this season, and I think it's a big decision for Ollie. And look, whatever's going on with the Glazers, and we want to get them out, I still think Ollie's got a lot of question marks over him and some very big decisions to make. Mark, Ollie never gives players enough chances. What makes you think he will do that next season? Says Jayling's fam. And okay, what did I want to do? Okay, I know what I wanted to do. Right, let's keep the super chats coming in. We've got what have we got? Why is that gone? Oh my god. Oh my god. What's gone on here? I don't get it. Oh, that's alright. It's fine. That's it. It's alright. Where is Flex? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to sort out. I'm trying to get Flex on screen now. So I'm sure we can get Flex on the screen. But what are your thoughts on the game today? What are your thoughts on the game today? Do you think Manchester United are going to get the win? Do you think there could be a bit of a hangover after the massive week that we've had? And it has been a massive week, as we know. Do you think that Manchester United could lose today? Get your score predictions in the live comments as ever. That's very appreciated. I'm just trying to sort something out here. Here we go. So... Copy link address, paste into here, click OK, click browser. There he is. He'll start waving at you, but I can't hear him. So you can hear him, he can talk to you, but I can't hear him at the moment. So we got Flex on, roving reporter at the protest yesterday. I'm going to call him Kodak because
can you not hear me?
I can hear you now.
Put thumbs up if you can hear me.
I can hear you. I'm going to call you Kodak.
It was good. It was very, very good.
Because so many people wanted pictures with him. He's sponsored by Kodak now, yesterday. Can you hear me now?
Hold on a minute. I can't hear him. I can't hear him.
I can hear him.
I can hear you now. I
was going to say I'll call you Kodak because so many people wanted pictures with yesterday. But look, it was a good game, wasn't it? Yesterday. Sorry, well, it was. I say it was a good game. It was a good game. But I've just got to reduce the desktop audio because we've got an echo there, which is great. First of all, thoughts on the team, and then we'll talk about the protests, of course.
Yeah. The team that was very good against Leeds the last time we played them. And to be honest with you, you have to think of it like this. High energy Leeds, high energy Man United. There's going to be loads of space on the counter-attack. So, we've got to bear that in mind. Like you said about Dan James, he's perfect for this game. We thought that when he started against Leeds the first time, he's perfect for this game. So I'm pleased he's starting for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I mean, I got pulled in by the live comments, and I did applaud them for it because obviously we're coming into this week, and I think it's been a really odd week. It's been a bad week, and we've obviously had that issue. But I am very happy with the game. I'm very happy that we've got the game, and I found myself talking about, no Diallo on the bench because Mata and Matic have to be there. no Donny in the team, but he won't start against Roma, Liverpool or Roma, so we're not going to see him for at least 3 weeks, so he can't build on the momentum. And, Rashford starting when he hasn't trained all week. So, it's nice to get pulled back into those things, because I think I don't know what you think. I think, we are United. It's not the players' fault and everything, but we are living in a bubble where we've got to get back into football. And that doesn't mean that you can't be critical of things that he does if you don't agree with it.
Yeah, 100%. You've got to still look at it. And I think actually we are still behind the players 100%, because what's happened in this last week proved how united we actually have to be across all fan bases. But also what I think is important is that when it's this 90 minutes or this time for the players, give the players your undivided attention. Look at how they're playing, big them up if they're playing well, and maybe, have a critical eye if things don't go so well. We still support our team. We still support our players and want to see our players do well, and are going to be upset if they don't do well because we're about to play Leeds. And I think that's what it has shown us, is that how important the fans are to football, which we keep saying. So if we are that important to football, when it comes to the 90 minutes of the actual game, let's have it. But what I will say is, like I said, with the team selection, last week, you don't want to be too critical and stuff like that. But even if this last week hadn't happened, the team that Ollie put out against Leeds worked last time, and you can't really say anything to him for that. Like you said about McFred, like you said about the fact that Pogba's not starting. He's gone for high energy. You got Marcus Rashford on one side, you got Dan James on the other side, you got Mason Greenwood who's quick, you got Bruno giving him the ball, hopefully. Counter attack, what I'm saying? Leeds will not change how they play. So I like it.
I've just seen a banner going over. I don't know whether that's from the game today, but say no to the Super League. I don't know whether. I know there is a plane meant to be going over Ellen Road today. I did see a banner there saying say no to the Super League, but we will get that confirmed, I'm sure, by people in the live comments. Can't wait for the Dallas theme tune today. I won't be singing Dallas today. Look, there's absolute. I don't know whether you saw that. There was a banner outside Ellen Road, sort of very, very accurate in slating Manchester United. Obviously, it's our owners, but then sort of saying that Manchester United fans, those few remaining United fans, we stand by them, but the vast majority basically are greedy, and I think that's just a disdain from Leeds towards Manchester United fans. But
they were having a go at the fans? They're having a go at United fans?
Yeah, just basically call it. Yeah, the terms plastic and glory hunters we use, but Leeds don't like us anyway. But the thing is,
you can't ask for too much.
Yeah, you can't ask for too much. And I think I tweeted it this morning. I suppose everybody's Leeds today. We've got to accept that. Apart from United fans, no one's going to have any sympathy with United today.
No one's got any sympathy with the top six and the top six clubs. They do with the fans. They understand it's nothing to do with us. I've spoken to a lot of other fans from loads of other clubs, teams that are not even in the Premier League, how they see it. But they're within their rights to do that, though. Do you know what I mean? Like if I was a fan of a club outside the top six in this week, I'd want them to lose every game. I would think, you greedy bastards. I know it's not the fans' fault, but for the owners, you're gonna want these teams to lose, and that's the collateral damage of the greedy decisions that actually happened in the last week. That's the collateral damage us, the fans, have to feel that. But even on a normal day before this happened, everyone wants Man United to lose anyway if you don't support them. So it don't really matter.
Would you do you agree with the team that he's gone with today?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. If I was looking into things with a bit more detail, though, what I would say is this is what I mean. When Rashford is fit, what happens to Pogba? Because he's clearly using him more so in that role. But having said that, in the last game against Burnley, Ollie's proven that he's willing to just use Pogba across the field. Do you know what I mean? Wherever he needs to use him game by game. So a game like this, high energy, Paul Pogba, this ain't the game for you on the left wing, which actually is probably true. We do need two quick runners who are going to be quick in transition, going at it. I'm not saying Paul Pogba's not good enough to play in this game. Of course he is. But you can see with the attributes that we've got, why the best thing to do in this game is probably not start him. You need to, like you say, Duracell bunnies in the midfield today. You need to work your asses off. We beat them 6-2 last time, but don't make that lure you into a false sense of security that we're just going to go and roll them over easy again. They're going to want to plant one on us. I know they play the same way in pretty much every game, but they will probably have made a few adjustments as to maybe not go as gung-ho. as they did against us in the first game, and because we packed them in good and proper. But that game could have been 10-10. Do you know what I'm saying? It was one of them games. So yeah, I don't mind the way that Ollie's picked the team today, and he's also showing that he can adapt, because when we were doing shit against Burnley second half, he put Pogba into the midfield and changed it. So as long as he's willing to change it and react to the game, I've got no problems.
I mean, it's a good super chat coming in there from Sumya saying that Alex Telles is also in the use. We can still expect Donny to come on as a sub, but no chance for Alex. I feel sorry for him. I don't necessarily think you can see Donny van der Beek.
Luke Shaw, that's too good. Luke Shaw's is too good though.
Dazzo says we need to get the ball from back to front quick, and McFred doesn't do that. I don't necessarily think we will see Van der Beek today, because Flex, you're right. I think Pogba would come on if we're struggling. Cavani would come on. That's two of your three. He might come on as the third sub, but he might chuck Mata or Matic on. So I don't know. And I agree. I think Telles is, Luke Shaw's been one of the best players in the world at left back this year. I mean, I genuinely do think that. So yeah, I would I have picked the same team? No, I would have found a way to start Van der Beek today, if I'm absolutely honest. But having said that, I am intrigued and excited to see this team, because McFred played well against Leeds last time, and so did Dan James. And if they do it again, well, it shows a potential there. But having said that, I would be like, you can only do so. Basically, you three can only do it against Leeds. Like, why can you only do it with Leeds? Is it because they play so open? Well, that's not how everybody else plays. So in one way, I can see why he's done it, and it's exciting. But if we did win 4 or 5-0 again, everyone would be like, oh yeah, McFred and James, haters sit down. But I would be almost like, well, I won't be sitting down just yet. I'll wait and see if they can do it against Liverpool next week, because I think Leeds are a very particular team, and the pace he's gone with on the break is a good idea, though. I think my only thing is Rashford. If you haven't trained all week, why is Rashford playing? I just that confuses me a little bit as well.
Yeah, he's got the thing like with Rashford, the relationship with Rashford, like you said just before I come on. If there's a hint of him being a little bit fit, he plays. That's just how it is. They believe in Marcus. They know that he can be effective, especially in this type of game. 100%. He was always going to go with Rashford if he's fit, or if he's trained well without a reaction, as he said. But just on the McFred thing, though, I want to cut them a little bit of slack, because it isn't just it's not that they shone in the game against Leeds the last time because it was more open. 100%, I agree with that. But even in the big games where we don't concede and stuff like that, I know there's a problem with the supply line and they're not good enough on the ball, but they just thrive in any game that needs high energy as opposed to creativity. Do you see what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I don't want to belittle them to say like, they are just shit, that they only played good against Leeds. They didn't only play, like against Liverpool, they got the engine room in there because you have to have an engine room in there, like against Henderson, Wijnaldum and say Fabinho or whatever. If you play against Chelsea and you got Kante and Kovacic who can move and stuff like that, you need energy in there, and that's just what it is. I just think they don't have the quality. What we suffer though from it, because they don't have the quality going the other way to provide. So we need to get a better balance. But I think in this game though, in these type of games that are massively open, you're right, and that's why Ollie goes with them every single time. If we got our biggest game of the season, Europa League final, if we get to it, McTominay and Fred will start.
Yeah, they will, and I'm not going to be a hypocrite just because we're all united as a fan base and we want the Glazers out. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to sit and watch a Man United game and say I in any way like McFred. I'd like to be proven wrong about them. I don't know how a 25-year-old and he's 25 this year, and a 28-year-old are going to prove me wrong in the long term, because that's not a long-term partnership. But they lack creativity. I don't think they pick their men up very well, and but I think in a game like this they might do quite well because they're not useless. I'd argue that they're not useless.
Yeah, they're not.
The reason they get criticised, and the reason Magaluf gets criticised as well, is because we're looking at Man City and saying that's where we should be. That's why they get criticised. I think we probably are too harsh on them but it's because the levels are high. If you were comparing them to Burnley or Southampton or even Spurs, you'd go, they're all right. Nothing wrong with them. We can take Spurs on next year, and we can. Yeah, we can. But I think we're always wanting to take on Man City and Liverpool and teams like that. And I think that's where the criticism comes. That, like you said, the creativity is just they're not that sort of player. If they're up against a Real Madrid midfield, you'd shit yourselves really, because you'd be like they're going to toy with them. They don't pick up the runners. They're not good enough, quick enough on the ball. But in a game like this against Leeds, I think the expectation that they're going to be crap, like you said, I don't think that's there. I just think a lot of the criticism is that we see the problem in a higher level of where we want to be.
100%. I just think that's exactly it. Like in this type of game, 100%. Look, they can still go and have a shit game. Anyone can have a shit game even if they're the right player for that type of game. But I feel what happens is like when we kind of get one bit of criticism for a particular player or a specific type of criticism for one player, what happens with that is that it sticks with the players. And like you said, if you can't like differentiate between the two, you then start trying to label them useless in every aspect when actually that's not the case. So some people are saying like, Flex, don't defend McTominay and Fred. They're awful. They're this, they that. But you look at like a big part of why we're second in certain games and you look at the energy that they bring. And I'm not saying that's all we need because of course we do need better, but they do have their role. It's just that we only need one. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we need a hybrid of one of them morphing into one player. Along with an attacking player, and they're both not good enough to do that by themselves. That's the only issue for me.
I think that's why I'd probably call him McFred, because if they were one player, I'd be all right.
Yeah,
stick exactly. a Declan Rice next to them, and we'd be all right. But as they well, I've always said that. To be fair, it reminds me. I've always said it's two players doing one person's job, and
100%.
That's what it is. You're right. Yeah. Welcome to the Members Club, Joshua Frame, and welcome to. Dakota Martin, I hadn't forgotten about you. Thanks for joining the Members Club. You can do that by clicking the join button. You get your little badges next to your name as well that change every month. Web says, I don't think P will like this though because it kind of confirms critics of him saying that the coach thinks he doesn't work hard in the midfield, says Web. And what do you think Ollie will do with McFred next season, Mark? Says Didier. Well, he might end up playing him. You know, to be fair, look, I'm not going to ignore this. It happened right amidst all the problems that we've had with protests and everything. Sir Alex Ferguson came out quite glowingly about McTominay, saying in a big game you've got to play him in there. Now look, Sir Alex Ferguson is untouchable in my eyes. He is a legend. He's the greatest sporting manager ever. But I'm not going to change my mind on a player just because Sir Alex Ferguson tells me to. He did buy Jemba and Cleverson. So look, he might just be wrong. He did mention Phil Jones and Duncan Edwards. So look, he might just be a little bit wrong on this. But what I would say in defence of McTominay and Fred is that they obviously do a lot well because they
play in all the big games.
They play
in the big games. And we don't all, like I said, we don't get rolled over in them games. It's not like they get run past all the time and we concede loads of goals because we ain't got no midfield. It's the other way. It's the other way. We just think we just need a little bit more creativity wise in there. That's it. I agree with you though. You can't just say McTominay's the saviour and he's fine. That's all we need. That's the best player for the position we can get in world football. Of course not. But I just think as a fan base sometimes we get stuck in kind of like the cool thing to do. Like the cool thing to do was always, Dan James playing off. He's trash. Like, do you know what I mean? Like he can't bring anything. And I just think that we need to get better at like saying, well, actually, he is actually good at this, this, and this. Because there'll be some people saying today, why the hell is Dan James playing today? He can't do. Well, look at his attributes. Like he can bring something to this game. It's the type of game. So I just think these players do have a place within a squad. Our only issue is that they're being used as the main players all the time. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've both agreed on that. I think a lot of people in the live comments do that. As a pair, it's not good enough if you want to win a title. And you could say the same about the centre-backs there. You could. And I think you could say the same about Dan James. Some people would even think the same about Wan-Bissaka, although I would disagree with that. I think he's a good player.
Yeah.
But
some people would,
one thing I am excited about today, because I think there's goals in this game. I can't imagine it being a 0-0. I think there will be goals. And Mason Greenwood down the middle. I'm really excited about this. I think he's been really good. For the last 3 or 4 months in difficult circumstances sometimes. I'm really excited that if the space is there, he might actually get 2 or 3 chances today. And I think if you give Mason Greenwood 2 or 3 chances as a number 9, we might be looking at 2 or 3 goals.
Potentially, yeah. If you feed him, he will score. If you give him chances, if you get him running at goal quickly, if you get him on the counter attack, he's proven he can make good decisions as well. What I liked about our third goal is in particular was just the team element of it. Everyone looking after the ball in the right way and playing the simple, easy pass. I know Ricky talks about that a lot and wants us to always play like that, and some of us think differently, but the fundamentals is right. If you play the simple pass, if you play the right pass at the right time with the right weight instead of the difficult one, you do have a better opportunity to make chances on goal. Like City always do it. City very rarely score a 25-yarder. They usually score good team goals where it's pass, someone's free, they got to tap in, or you have to put a good finish on the end of it, but you're free to have a shot. They make the chances by making good good decisions in the build-up. And that's what I like about what Mason Green was doing. He's passing when he should pass. He's shooting when he should shoot. He's turning and dribbling when he should do that. And I think it was Darren Fletcher when I was reading some of his comments on Mason. He's basically saying he's learning his position, whether he's on the right wing, whether he's up front. He's learning how the play builds up and what decisions to make at the right time. So he's progressing at a nice rate. Because there was a point of this season, I'm not going to lie, obviously I'm never going to write Mason Greenwood off, but I was just worried that this would have been ended up just being put down in the record because his second season was quite difficult. He didn't really kick on how we did, because how we would have liked him to, because it was just a difficult season. It's expected. But like you said, last couple of months, it's kind of like he's got his head down. He's continued to keep working. He's continued to keep improving. He's getting assists. He's getting goals. And he's looking after the ball a little bit better as well. So, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And today's exciting for him if we play in the right way.
Sometimes good centre midfielders on the ball can play well against top centre midfielders. Modric, Kroos are not energetic, but they play well against other very good CMs, says Kichino. I'm not unsure what you're on about, because I think Modric and Kroos are world-class midfielders as well. I think we've got some quotes coming in from Ollie, which will probably be totally to do with the game. I'd be very surprised if he's mentioned anything about protests or anything. Yeah. You never know. Yes, we've spoken about... Here we go then. On James replacing Pogba, he says that you have to think about this game, but you also have to think about the run of games we're facing. And Dan did really well against Leeds at home. His high energy, his 1v1, his defending, everything suits him. So yeah, as we said, he's picked
100%. 100%.
On Rashford, we're managing Rashford. He's working. He's getting his cardiovascular work, loads of work in the gym, but he's not been on the pitch with boots on. That's the hard bit on his toes. He trained yesterday, felt no reaction, so he's ready. It's not going to be 0-0. I can guarantee it's not going to be 0-0. It's two teams who want to attack and attack as quickly as they can. We know that when we attack, they're very dangerous on the counter-attack. I mean, look, that 6-2 at Old Trafford was a very good result, but actually... I watched the highlights to it yesterday, I think it was, and
weren't a proper 6-2.
It was 6-2. They had chances as well, and
loads.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that? What you're saying about? Sumia says good point. McTominay, James, and Fred are good squad players. I remember Darren Fletcher lacked quality, but was an outstanding player. It's my birthday today, says Ivan. Hopefully, you get a win. Happy birthday to Ivan. Sorry.
Big up.
What was I going to say? Yeah, so Solskjaer talking about Rashford not trained all week. Can't put boots on. Put them on yesterday and he was fine, so he starts today. Weird, yeah. It just don't sound right to me. I mean, it works, obviously. It don't
sound right. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just a special case. In all normal forms of life, you're saying, "Oh, mate, you ain't trained for like almost the whole week. Like, you can barely put the boots on. Your feet are hurting. Like, let's maybe sit this one out."
Yeah.
But that's they've chosen from very early with this injury. I'm gonna guess that this injury happened. You know, this recurring thing that's been happening for probably not near the start of the season, but very, very early on, and it's just got progressively worse. But they've obviously chosen and sat down and you know, with the medical advice said that this is how he needs to play. He's getting taken off in a lot of games, isn't he? He's either coming off in the 60th minute or the 70th or 80th minute or whatever. So they are managing him. And they've obviously sat down and come to that conclusion. So as long as if it seems to be working as it is, that's what we can say. Yes, I am always worried that it's one game too far, you know, one strain or one twist too far, one knock to the ankle, impact injury, or to his foot or wherever, or his toes or wherever it's hurting. I'm always worried about that as a fan, but it's working the way they're using him. He's actually contributing to the games. Good assist second half against Burnley. He was at it against Burnley. I thought he was quite good. So it's not like we're seeing him literally not be in the game. He did. You know, we can say sometimes he's playing a bit within himself, or you can see him wincing a little bit. So he's clearly putting one in for the team and for himself because he cares. So that is always a worry. But to be fair to Wally, they do seem to be managing it quite well, really.
Yeah. I'd agree on that. But it's a weird one, because if you're not training all week and then you're training the game before and then you're playing from the start, I'm like, everything I know about injuries and stuff that's not right. But it must be working, because we could be playing a Europa League final in a month. He could be playing in the Euros in 6 weeks. It's all right, Rashford saying, I want to play, I'm going to lie. But I'm going to lie about how bad it is because I want to play. But that would be idiotic, because at some point, if playing's damaging you, you're going to get to a point where you can't play.
It will catch up, yeah.
And then you won't be able to play in the Euros, and you won't be able to play in the Europa League. I mean, look, if I'm Rashford, I'm like, I'm fine, Ollie, play me. It's Leeds. But I'm like, any footballer's going to go, no, actually, I probably should miss Leeds, because if I keep doing this, I might miss the Euros, I might miss the Europa League semi-final. So whatever the injury is, it obviously is like, I would presume it's like what you've said there. It's something that is manageable.
Yeah.
But when's he going to get over it? Like,
it seems like, do you know what it is? If it was that serious, obviously, where you physically can't run, you can't sprint, you can't turn, he'd be out.
Yeah.
He'd be out. Like you said, obviously, it's something that's manageable. It seems like something that if he had, say, 1 or 2 months off, like let's say 2 months, just 2 months of straight rest, then it seems like he probably could be all right. But because the season's so hectic, it's like, where we can give him a rest, we will, but we need him for all the big games. That's looks like where it's at. And you're right, actually, because of the Euros coming up, that actually is a massive worry because he ain't going to get a rest. When does the season finish? Mid-May, is it? Yeah. Mid-May. So be off from half of May,
I think
all
it's
of
actually
June,
end of May,
and England finishes.
And then it's like
end of May,
1 week,
June.
and you're in the Euros. It's this,
don't the Euros start in July?
June.
Oh shit! I thought the Euros started in July. And then the season starts again in August.
Yeah, there's no break.
What we might see with Marcus Rashford is I'm predicting that maybe the beginning of our season next year, I don't think he'll be there. I think he'll need a rest then. He's got to, because he's gonna go to England, and Gareth Southgate. To be said, Gareth Southgate might start him in every game because he's got so many players there. But he's gonna go. He's 1,000,000% going. So I think when he gets back off the Euros, depending how far England go, I think Ollie gives him an extension then, makes him come late back to the beginning of the season or something.
Yeah, maybe. Expecting a nice, exciting open game. Well, Ollie said that. Edward Murphy, don't expect a 0-0. Expecting an exciting.
Probably be 0-0.
I mean, look, just on Leeds. I mean, the rivalry between Leeds is very big from their side. It used to be very big from Manchester United, but it's never really been that big in my life, to be honest. I'm aware of it, but I never really felt it that much like I felt Liverpool or even Arsenal at times and Man City. But they absolutely can't stand us. We are their biggest rival. I mean, we all remember the little clip. You're having a fucking laugh. Fuck off. Fuck off. We know what it means to them. Do they pose a threat? I mean, I love the way Bielsa plays football. I mean, I don't like Leeds, but I do like the way Bielsa plays football. I don't know whether I'd like him at United every week because he plays so open, but I do like watching Leeds. I watch Leeds play most teams. I think I've seen Leeds play most of the top teams this year because they're just so open and entertaining. Do you think we're going to sort of talk about that? Because I want to talk about the protest yesterday because you were there. Do you think that there is a hangover there for United? Do you think it's possible that we lose to Leeds?
It's always possible you can lose in any game. You know what I mean? We again, I've lost that. I've lost that arrogance of just saying there's no way we can lose this game. I haven't said that for years, and I'm not going to start saying it now. I would be surprised if we did lose, though. I would be surprised if we lost, just because we're on such a good run of not losing. Only lost four league games all year. Of course, we can lose, especially if we make silly mistakes or we think that we've had a week off. We'll just go through the motions to get ourselves going again. Sometimes it is, although it's tough when you kind of have the Thursday, Sunday. It does kind of keep you in that match mode. If you've played football and you're playing every 3 or 4 days, although fatigue can kick in, it also keeps your mind sharp. It also keeps the muscle memory good and you're ready to go all the time. So the fact that they've gone for a week off should help, but also they need to use that in the right way. So there's no excuse why they shouldn't be at it from the first 5 minutes, because they're going to have to be, because Leeds will. But just on Bielsa quickly, I do think, playing that way, so open and expansive, I wouldn't want to see that at United. But it is refreshing, because I look at a lot of football these days, especially in the Premiership and all that. It's all about philosophy. It's all about trying to make it this, trying to be like that, tactical, this, that, and the other, low block, drop free in, cam, all of this shit. At the end of the day, I think football's a simple game complicated by idiots. Like, it's just nice to just go at team, go try win the game. Just have intention to win instead of, we'll sit back, we'll try and nick it, conservative. I do respect that they just play the same. We're here to win. We're going to go for it. If we concede, we concede. I get it. You got to also sort your defence out. You need to have a good defence. If you have better players playing in that vein, that's all the best teams do. If I look at the teams who are actually good, who play like that, say like a Bayern Munich, say like obviously Barcelona in their heyday, obviously Man City, Liverpool when they're actually playing good, the biggest difference is not necessarily all the individuals they have. Liverpool are a great example. It's just the energy they play with. Like, that's half the battle. Just play with intensity and fucking play on the front foot. Go after the other team. And I think too much of football is too tactically astute now, trying to twist things and turn things and be like, oh, conservative and all of this stuff. It just go after people. And I think that's just a fundamental of the game that's just missing. Go after people.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just going to pop and have a quick toilet break before the game. Please tell us, Flex, yesterday, you were at the protest yesterday. Obviously, another one next week, as we know. What are your thoughts on where we go from here, the feeling yesterday, and what's going to happen?
Yeah, I think the feeling yesterday was amazing, first of all. It was brilliant to see all the fans out. You know, there's another protest next week, and I just think it's about fans just having their say whenever, wherever they can. Loved covering it. It was the first time I've been out for a while, especially like this on United Stand, and it was great to be back and seeing the fans and stuff. But the thing that I liked as well is that nobody stepped over the line. It was all peaceful. There was people of all ages, men, women, kids there, such a melting pot of people. There wasn't one person stepping over the line. Everyone was out for United, out for the cause. And even the authorities, you're looking at the stewards who had clearly been directed to just stay back, stay away, be on a periphery. Yes, if it gets stupid, then step in. But other than that, stay back. And the police, the same thing. And you guys saw in the live stream, I spoke to the police quite a bit. And they made it clear, like their instruction was to stay back, let the fans have their say. It's almost like the people in high places said, we can't stop this happening. They're coming whether we like it or not. And that shows the unity and the power of this. Of course, it's going to be difficult to get the Glazers out. I thought Ricky spoke so well. I thought the other lad who come on with Ricky spoke really well as well. And, you know, like Ricky said, don't think that you're just one individual. I was so proud that we were able to bring you guys that footage, because there's thousands of you here listening now who obviously are completely unable to get there. But it doesn't matter whether you live a million miles away or whether you live in Salford and you around the corner and you manage to get there. You got a voice, whether it's on social media, whether it's live at the stadium, whether it's just amongst your friends in a WhatsApp group, whatever. It doesn't matter. You got a voice. And when we're together, like I saw yesterday, and like it's going to be against Liverpool, which is going to be even bigger, we actually are united. And it was great to see that. It was great to see everybody just being there for the same cause and people not overstepping the mark. Honestly, the respect levels there were so strong. There was people there in Chelsea shirts, couple people in Arsenal shirts. Met a guy who's from Manchester but supports Arsenal. I've never seen that before in my life, but he was there in his Arsenal shirt, back in the cause, you know. So I loved it, and I'm proud that us here at the United Stand were able to bring it to you guys, because you know that's what it's all about. It's about you lot.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've just put a tweet out, and look, I don't. It's down to. It's down to people what they think. I mean, I've just replied to a tweet off at Mark Goldbridge where it's disappointing. It's really disappointing, because it's actually from somebody I quite like their tweets, and they've just said blocked by someone who said I should support the fan cams when they're protesting. These fan cams are hypocrites. They make money out of United just like the owners. That's so dangerous. That's so dangerous. What? And then you've got people in the replies, you know, people again that are respected in the community, you know, saying this, that, and the other. I agree with this, that, and the other. And it's like, it's already over. Pete Boyle again, who I respect. You know, I think we all know who Pete Boyle is. He's saying, oh, this, that, and the other about it as well. And it's just like you're letting the Glazers win before we get going, people. Like there is absolutely no connection between fan cams, fan channels, and what the Glazers are doing to football. And if people are doing this within 3-4 days of trying to make change, it's already over. They don't get it. It's already over if you're going to divide the fan base. People need to learn to get along. Some people like fan content, some people don't. But we all love Manchester United. And if we don't work together on this, it is over before it even starts. It's so important.
What I will say just quickly on that is I spoke to, and this is the beauty of yesterday, I spoke to a guy actually who came up to me and was talking and saying that he doesn't enjoy fan content. He doesn't, you know, agree with it, etc., etc. But the way he spoke to me and the way he made his point, he definitely won't be watching now, so he won't know. But was just great. I think there's this misconception that we're out here trying to convince everybody to consume their football in this way. Couldn't be further from the truth. So I don't want us to turn this into a plea of, oh, leave the fan cams alone. It's nothing to do with that. But fan content is fan content. It's for fans, but more importantly, it's for fans who want to engage with it. If you don't want to, that's fine. But please understand, and you may see this clip, you may not see this clip, and to be honest, whatever. But if you do see this clip and you're someone who comes from, you know, that demographic or that type of person that doesn't like what we do, just understand We are here for the same reason as you, especially now. And listen to the big fan groups who are putting things to a side. It's not about what's gone on. It's not about you got angry because somebody said something about McTominay and you disagreed with it, so you think they've got an agenda against McTominay and that's why you don't like fan content. It's about the Glazers and getting them out of our club. Like I said, the word after Manchester is United, and we have to be United. So please, if you are in that demographic of people who don't like what we do, that's fine. We're not necessarily convincing you that you must like fan content. You must absorb this content. Consume your football how you like to consume your football, but just don't criticize other people who consume their football like this. And especially at a time like this, just come together.
Yeah, I'm not here to preach about the good and bad of fan content. I think it's a choice. Yeah. If you don't
simple as that.
If you don't like it, well done. But I don't even know why we're having this conversation. It's the same thing that happened with Robbie on TalkSport the other day. I'm not interested. If you want to come up and have an argument with me about fan content, I'll have a chat with you, but not right now. This is about something very, very different, and it's so frustrating.
Simple.
I'm so frustrated by it because it's a completely different topic. It's got nothing to do with the owners of football clubs who don't care about these football clubs trying to put us into something that's not football to make massive amounts of money and rip the history out of Manchester United Football Club. What's that got to do with a website, a fanzine, a fan channel, or somebody's opinion on whether McFred should start or not? It's got nothing to do with it. To me, it just comes across as putting your own bitterness and selfishness ahead of sorting out what's going on at Manchester United. Why are you even talking about it? Why are you putting your frustration onto that? What is driving this? If you want to have a chat about fan content, because most of what you think is a load of bollocks anyway, but if you want that, fine. But can we get beyond what's really important? That's what's frustrating me. I don't give a shit. I don't care whether people watch this channel or not. It doesn't bother me. I think we've got a very good community. I think it does a good job and it works. But I'm not. Why are you bringing that into that? How idiotic do you have to be to relate the Glazers to any type of fan content? I mean, how stupid do you have to be? Oh, I don't like their opinion, so therefore they're the Glazers. Oh, they make money, they must be the Glazers. Oh, you know what? Flex, when you were a DJ, you're just as bad as the Glazers. What are you doing now? What are you doing? Going playing music for people and charging for it? Why? What? John, who works across the road and goes and works at Amazon delivering stuff. Why are you charging money for Amazon? Just do it for them. I just will not understand it, how people go and attack people because they make money. I mean, most people know that the United stand started off with nothing. Just people watching. It's YouTube.
I don't think they do. I think they. Do you know what though? That actually is the problem. Pretty off topic, and we'll wrap it up and move on to Buddy. But the biggest thing is that they don't. They think that there's no hard work or groundwork being put in where you start something and build it up from nothing. Just like a guy maybe who might be an entrepreneur who started selling pens on the market store, and now he owns Beek, the biggest pen thing in the world, and he's a millionaire. He started selling pens down the market. Like, things grow, people grow, and I think people get jealous of growth, and envy comes in, and I keep saying that I've read a book called Ego is the Enemy, and it's really changed the way I think. And these people, it's just their ego and jealousy and envy. And you know what? We know that our hearts are clean. We know that, like you said, the community is pure, and anyone who wants to join the community at any stage can join the community. So,
but you know what? I don't even want to say that they're. I think I agree with you. I think there's obviously something driving this behind them. But look, I've said to so many people this week, the positive side of this. There's so many people this week that I never would have had a conversation with.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been really good.
Who are like, look, I don't care about things in the past. Fuck it. Don't care about things we've disagreed with in the past. There's a united cause here to get behind. Let's just wipe the slate clean. Whoever's wrong, whoever's right, let's wipe the slate clean and get on with it. And I think that has been the exciting thing about this week, because that is right. We're all trying to do something. And whether you like the United stand or not, what I would say to you, even if you're the most vehement hater of it, it's got 500,000 followers on Twitter. It's got 1 million subscribers on YouTube and other social medias. If you want a message putting out to people about don't do this, come to this, don't do that, this is all about this. What a platform to use. Only an idiot's going to turn their back on that.
Yeah, because you're putting your personal gain or personal hatred for something over the fact that many more United fans around the world.
I want them to use the platform. Exactly. I want them to use that. I was speaking to somebody today about the new kit having a new sponsor on it. Well, what a great message to send out if that's one of the tactics. Don't buy the new kit. You're not a Man United fan if you buy the new kit, because you're putting money into the Glazers when we could actually squeeze them, get sponsors unhappy, and maybe force change that way. So what a better platform to do it than something like the United Standard and others, where you can get that message out globally. So use it for what it's there for instead of criticising it. It's massive. It's got a massive reach, and there's so many messages we can put out there. But look, people just, they don't need to like it. Just use it for what it is. Anyway, Flex, we're about to kick off. What was your score prediction?
Yeah, I got with 3-2. 3-2. I think it'll be a 3-2 win. I think there'll be high energy, high goals. I do think we'll concede. Maybe it could even be 3-3. Yeah, could even be 3-3. But I'm going to edge on the positive side. It'd be nice to get a win after a horrible week. The players, be nice to see them get back at it. So yeah, 3-2, high energy game.
I've gone 3-2. We seem to be going 3 on the same score lines a lot recently.
Yeah. Yeah, normally I go
2-1. Maybe 3-2 the logical one.
Yeah, or 4-3 or something like that. But yeah, I do agree with Ollie. I don't think it'll be 0-0. I think there'll be goals in this.
No worries, mate. Okay, I will see you at half time.
Cool. Peace.
Speak to you in a bit, pal. Right, we'll come back in here. Where do I need to close that down? Okay. Barath says, don't worry about haters. A lot of people love you. Lots of love from India, says Barath. And will always be people who get distracted and stop focusing on the ball because of personal bias. As you said, we call out the division and move on. Yeah, I really, look, maybe in other times I'd get frustrated about the unfair lies and hate that gets spread about what we do. Maybe that's it. I mean, look, I could sit here and say in the last 2 years I've raised over £50,000 for charity, sitting streaming for 2 days straight when you add it all together. I'm not David Brent going, judge me on my charity work. That's not what this is about. It's not about that. I don't mind if people don't like what we do. I get that. That's the world we live in. What frustrates me is that we're not even a week on from one of the most abhorrent things that's happened in football history, and people are already starting to shouting about fan content. What are you doing? You really do care about Man United, don't you? You care so much about Manchester United that you are putting forward your irrational hate and dislike and bias and bitterness about something that's nothing to do with that, when United fans, for the first time in a long time, as I said last night, are actually uniting behind something that could bring about genuine change at the football club. I don't get that. That's what frustrates me. I just want to see us united and working together. That's what I want to see. Now my timer. Where is my timer? Why is my timer not working? Because it's in the wrong place. There it is. It's down there. There we go. So kick off. Let's go. Let's talk a bit of football anyway. That's what we're here for. Earn it on the pitch. Football is for the fans. Banner there at Leeds. Fair play. That's exactly correct. The banner went over the ground as well, which was great to see. Good start from United here. Free kick. Bruno's on it. Whip it in towards that penalty spot, Bruno. Cross comes in. Greenwood got on it. Straight at the keeper. But a good start from United here. Only a minute gone. And we've had a good start. Kian says, do you prefer Greenwood as a striker or a right winger, Kian? I think long term I want him as a striker. I mean, look, if you look at like Mbappe, he can play down the middle, he can play wide. I get that. But I do want to see Mason Greenwood playing down the centre. I think the good thing about, the exciting thing about Greenwood, and we saw it with Rashford as well, is that when they started out, they were exciting players, but we saw it with Rashford and we've seen it with Greenwood as well, that they're physically growing out into men from young men, adults, teenagers into men. And that physicality, he's only going to get stronger, he's only going to get better. And yeah, he is playing down the middle as well, which is good. I thought we might put Rashford down the middle, but he's put Greenwood down the middle, Rashford off the left and Dan James to the right. So I'm happy with that. Wide open spaces here. There is going to be a lot of spaces. Leeds like to go man for man, which creates spaces if you can get past that man. Please smash a like on the video. We're nearly at 5,000 likes. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm going to do the Carabao Cup final, but I've got to do the match reaction on here first. Beyond That's Football, I think it's already set up on there actually. Nothing significant yet, or good pace to it. I'm looking forward to this. I think we've had such a crap week, haven't we? Such a crap week that Man United against Leeds is almost perfect. Then Roma on Thursday, then Liverpool. They are good games to have. I'd hate it if we had like West Brom at home. I don't know whether I could. I mean, I'd always watch United play, but I think West Brom at home would be terrible after the week that we've got. I think Leeds away. What a good game to have, because the energy's going to be there, and lots of space as well. They're not going to sit back, Leeds, are they? Look at them. But Leeds have got the ball with their right back, and so many players are playing further forward. They do. They just leave. There's so much space on the break already, which is good to see. Get a few goals in this game, and it'd be good for Henderson as well. I think Henderson. A lot of people talk about how many saves Henderson's made this season, how many clean sheets he's had. I like Dean Henderson. I think he's a good goalkeeper. I think it's an interesting battle between him and De Gea. But I also think he's played in a lot of games where they've been the sort of games where we're not conceding many chances. So be interesting to see if Leeds do get a few chances today and how he plays in goal. Thank you, United Stan, for giving fans a voice. Saham, thanks for the super chat, Saham. Leeds tried to play aggressive. They exposed their defence in doing that, says True Englishman. Yeah, I mean, look. Don't like Leeds, do like Bielsa. I think the way that they play football is expansive football, and that leads to lots of chances. Here's McTominay. That's a foul. By Harrison. Wan-Bissaka's cross. It is a cross. It's got a lot of height on it, and Leeds get rid of it. Benson says, did you imagine Liverpool being out of the Champions League? Well, they're not in the Champions League anymore, and their only chance of being in the Champions League next season is getting top 4, isn't it? And at the moment, I think they're about... Are they like 4 points off? So if we beat Liverpool next week, we could be in a position where we basically put Liverpool into the Europa League, which... weird season. I actually predicted that Liverpool would win the title, so it'd be a weird season. Good tackle on McTominay there. Good pressing by United. I think United against Leeds, it's like watching a different side because it's so open. Ollie goes, it's going to be open. We've got to play aggressive ourselves, and we can play expansive, exciting football, but what I don't think we can do is play expansive football when we're playing against a team that sits back and drops. So I'm enjoying this though. I needed this. It's like having 5 pints. I needed a bit of football today. Bit of United. Bit of an open game. The right sort of team to play against. Lovely ball into Rashford over the top, and he doesn't quite get his shot off. I think he might have been offside. But that Lindelof ball over the top. We know Lindelof's very good at that. And Rashford through, and he might have been onside. It's a lovely ball by Lindelof though. Delightful ball by Lindelof, and Rashford just a little bit off with his shot there. But Lindelof passing incredible, says David. Whatever about Lindelof, I don't think he's particularly good in the air. I do think he gets bullied, and I don't think he's particularly quick. 3 pretty important things for a centre-back. But he has got elites passing from the back. That'll be Henderson and Maguire there in a little bit of bother. Bloody hell. Fucking hell. Maguire put some power on that back pass. But it's all right. It's all right. But yeah, as I said, I'm enjoying this game. It's very open, and I think we will see goals. Got a bit of buzz. Got a bit of a buzz back, which is good. Probably see a few tackles coming in. Zayn acting like most of Arsenal good players from the last decade haven't left to win trophies, says Joshua Bowater. Mark, you don't like buying players from rivals, but you bought Cantona from Leeds and Nick Van Persie from us, says Zayn Miassi. I wouldn't have classed Arsenal a rival when we bought Van Persie. That was just a player who was desperate to go and win trophies, like Joshua said. It was more of a charity thing because he was begging. Cantona, Leeds. I mean, Leeds at that time. I think Leeds had just won the. Didn't Leeds just win the title by then? So yeah, I mean that was a big thing to do. I think Leeds wanted rid of Cantona though. He was a bit of a problem for them, if I remember correctly. Mark, what do you make of Henderson's orange socks, says M&K Group? I hadn't noticed, but now you've put it into my head. Why are you yawning, Mark? Oh, I've had such a tough week and I didn't sleep well again last night. I just couldn't sleep thinking about the Glazers. Not like that, but just like thinking about stuff and, probably a bit obsessed with it, to be honest, at the moment. I'm just obsessed with making the most of this opportunity that we've got. Which is why I think it's so important that people put aside their differences and work together. There's a lot of people... I'm not going to talk about it. A lot of people I don't like with, and I genuinely don't like what they've done, but I would put it aside to sort things out. Why is De Gea not starting? He'll start against Roma, won't he? Remember Thursday night, Europa League semi-final, Roma? The semi we can't let flop. We've got to get some Viagra and get some of what that Burnley striker had today with his hat-trick. We need a bit of that. I'm confident we're going to get through this semi-final, but I mean, if we bottled this one, it'd be 5. We can't. We can, of course we can, but I think we'll be all right against Roma. How will United play on Thursday, says Joseph Hudson. Well, Pogba will start in that game, won't he? Yeah. Thanks for the super chat, Joseph Tyrrell. Pogba will start in that one. Thank you for that. I enjoyed the goggle box with Jack, mate. There's no plans for an episode 2. You need to get on to him for that. I don't know why he doesn't want to do an episode 2 because the episode 1, that really should have been a series, but, we'll see. What do you think about Sir Alex's comments about how McTominay has become one of our most important players? We've already spoken about it, Jordan, so I don't want to repeat it to everybody, but... I already knew that Sir Alex Ferguson rated McTominay. Mourinho did. Carrick does. Ollie does. They all really, really rate him. So I just think with McTominay, for all this rating of him, I think we need to see more on the pitch, don't we? There's clearly something there. Mourinho, Carrick, Sir Alex Ferguson, they've clearly seen something in him. They obviously probably see it in training or something. I don't know, but we need to see more of it on the pitch because. I think everybody wants him to succeed. My personal feeling on McTominay is that I think for a long time I never really saw what he was all about. And I think over the certainly this season, I just think he's a box-to-box player. I don't think he's a holding midfielder. I think the closer he gets to the opposition's box, the better player he becomes. I think he spends too much time on the edge of our box, and I just don't think that's him. So, yeah, but look, Sir Alex Ferguson's the greatest sporting manager in history for me, but he did buy Jemba. He did say that Phil Jones could be the next sort of Duncan Edwards or something to those effects. So he doesn't get everything right, does he? Lovely cross by Rashford. That's got to be a goal. Oh, Harry. He's let it hit his knee. Not his head that time. He's kneed it. I don't know how easy it was. It was Bruno with the cross, actually. And I think he might have bummed it. I think he might have hit his bum. Let's have a look. No, it's his thigh. He's thighed it wide. Kemet we've all missed chances like that. Fred's made the run, Bruno. No, it goes to Greenwood. Wide open space here. Bruno's dictating the play. Lots of space. Bruno will have a good game today. It's Bruno's sort of game. And a week off for a lot of these players as well. Maguire, here he is. He wants to shoot with his right foot. Plays it into Dan James. Where are you going, Dan? Marcus. Oh. Leeds in trouble. Marcus again. Leeds will get rid of that. And they do. Good play, Luke Shaw. Lots going on. Lots going on. Exciting game. What's your thoughts about the start so far, everybody? I think it's been exactly what we said on the tin. Ollie said it won't be 0-0. I don't think it will be 0-0 either. And I think United have started off the better team. Dan James, heavy touch there. He could have been in. A little bit heavy on that, Dan. Burnley beats Wolves 4-0. You do wonder how long he's going to be in a job, Nuno, really. They've had a terrible season. Terrible season. I didn't realise that Rafinha wasn't playing for Leeds today. I've only just looked at their team and I thought, where's Rafinha? Totally talking about lots of other things. And no Rafinha for Leeds. I don't know why that is. Is he injured? So that makes the job easier for us. Knee injury, says guess who. Thank you very much. Luke Shaw with the throw in here. 15 minutes has gone quite quick actually. United looking the better team though. Good tackle on Greenwood there. Lindelof goes back to Henderson. He's got a knee injury at the moment. And Leeds are starting to get a bit of a attack going here themselves. Glazers may move the club like the US. Organise 50+1, says Jesper. People going on about Dan James being bad. I haven't really noticed him do anything really bad yet. I say yet, like it's inevitable. Yeah, Fred and McTominay have started off well. I just think this sort of game suits them. There's something about, it's like Dan James, isn't it? There's something about Leeds that just suit, and I think it's just because it's so open. It's like a breath. You know, like that airwave stuff you can buy, that chewing gum that. It's a breath of fresh air when you play against Leeds, and if it's a breath of fresh air for us as fans to watch playing against Leeds, imagine what it's like for the players. It's always entertaining to watch a Leeds game, so it must be the same when you're playing in it. It's wide open, isn't it? It is very tactical. Bielsa's very, very tactical, but the tactics are just different compared to everybody else. There was a plane that went over. I will bring you the news up on that actually. Sorry, I've been so focused on the game. Nice ball into Rashford there. I think Rashford's had a lively start as well. Yeah, there was a banner that went over Old Trafford. Not Old Trafford. 2 billion. I've just read. In fact, what I'll do is I'll. Leeds have got it here. Put it up on there. Yeah, if you follow me on Twitter, hashtag, I'm just doing the hashtag. I sometimes talk what I'm typing. At Mark Goldbridge on Twitter, I've just put a picture of the banner that went over. 2 billion stolen, hashtag Glazers out is what's gone over. $2 billion. I mean, I've not who's counting. Somebody should be bloody counting. I heard 1.5 billion, but 2 billion is probably about right when you add in the debt, because that's stolen. You know, all the money that's been taken out, all the interest payments, but the debt as well that's money that's got to be paid back as well. Leeds on the attack. Oh, watch out! Oh, I tell you what, Luke Shaw did well there because there was a rollover. Not a national lottery rollover either. There was somebody on the back post. And Luke Shaw did his job. I think we've all been sucked in towards the ball again there. Back four. Harrison with the cross. Well, it does hit Luke Shaw on the arm, but that would be a very, very tough penalty to give away. No, it's natural. The VAR's looking at it. No, that's not a penalty. That's not a penalty. His hand's like that, but it's natural body reaction. He's like that. Shut up, Ayling. Stop moaning, Ayling. It's not a penalty. Never a penalty. Shut up. It does hit his arm, but it's not a penalty. Move on. Luke Shaw's saying, shut up, you bitch. It's not a penalty. Play on. VAR actually does something right for once. That would have been a stupid penalty. Really would have been. Nice ball into the box to Roberts from Leeds there. Bamford on the front post. Watch out! I saw Bamford going down there. McTominay, poor clearance, into the box. Bit all over the place. Rashford clears it. Come on. Come on, United. We're letting this game little bit slippy here. We started off for 15 minutes quite well. I think the last 5 minutes we've allowed Leeds too much of the ball here. Need a bit of energy. They're knocking it around lovely at the moment, Leeds. Oh, Bruno, watch out. Ayling with the cross. Cleared away by Fred. Rashford's got it. Loses it. Fred. Greenwood. Nice ball. But Rashford's not that quick. He's quick, but he ain't that quick. Yeah, I think the last 5 minutes, Leeds have started to get a bit of a grip on this. Good game, though. It's a good watch. You can't take your eyes off it. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Get a bit of energy. That's what United need to do. Get down and give me 5. Somebody just said we upgraded to a 15-minute press for this game. We have lost a bit of energy. But you can't do it forever. The quality of Leeds passing is impressive, isn't it? They do hit their man a lot. What are you putting your flag up for, mate? Like, just play on. Get Pogba and Donny on. You've got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Well, he's got a big coat on. Come on, United. That's not a great ball, is it, again? Oh, Fred. Fred with the Brazil skills. Luke Shaw, lovely stuff, you see. Move the ball a bit quicker here. Give it back to Luke. Lovely play. Luke Shaw's playing so well. I mean, Rashford wanted a shot there. You could tell he was going to shoot. It really wasn't on there. But Luke Shaw, he's just so smooth, isn't he, Luke Shaw, at the moment? Do you think our result will be better next season with this team, as we'll have more gaps between matches and more rest for players? Says Sumia. Thanks for the super chats that are coming in. And by the way, you can do that through the $sign if you want to. I mean, this season's been very hectic. We've played a lot of games, but you don't get many weeks in a normal season where you're not playing if you're playing in Europe anyway. You've got international football, so we'll get a little bit more rest, but it's not like you get loads. A lot of people talking about Pogba. Pogba should have started. I mean, I'm not an expert on this because I don't do fasting, so I would bow down to those people who do it and know what that's all about in relation to the impact. But we have seen players still play when they're fasting, so who knows? I don't know. I mean, it must be very difficult if you're not eating, you're not drinking, to go and play a game of football. So Ali says it's very hard to do. Cross comes in. Good cross by Luke Shaw, headed away by Leeds. Mo Salah and he played 90 minutes. Mo Salah's an attacker, doesn't he? Maybe he gets more rest. I don't know. I can't comment on it because I don't know enough about it and I don't want to be ignorant about it. Go on then, Wan-Bissaka. You should have had some momentum there. Nice ball into Dan James. Meet. Gets it back to Wan-Bissaka. Bruno. Nice by Bruno into Dan James. Back into Bruno. Lovely play. Cut back cross to Greenwood. Oh, if he gets that touch right, that was really good play between Wan-Bissaka, Dan James and Bruno. Greenwood's foot touch just was a little bit off. It was lovely play. Lovely play. Especially between Bruno and Dan James, and Greenwood's touch is just a bit off. Lovely play by Bruno and Dan James. United just getting back into it a little bit more now. We had 5 minutes of Leeds really, and United now getting hold of the ball, which is good. I'd love to see Wan-Bissaka getting back to what his potential is. I think he's had quite an inconsistent season, but I think when he's on his game, there's no issue with him. Lindelof's gone for another longer ball here. It's a good ball by Lindelof. I mean, look, it's long ball. Let's call it what it is. It is long ball, but a long ball every now and again is not a bad thing. That ball over the top with the angled run from Rashford is difficult to deal with, and it does cause problems. You can see it again here. Look, Rashford's on his toes. Defender actually deals with that quite well. So just coming up for the 27th. Just coming up for half an hour, just under. A bit of a stretch if you're sat down. Always good to get the blood flowing. I'd say United have just about been the better team. Tommy losing the ball in the midfield there. Well, Fred's been skipped past as well. I'll tell you what, it's a lovely ball out wide. Was he offside? Offside. Fred has been excellent so far, says Sumya. What's your thoughts about the game so far? 0-0. nearly at the half an hour mark. I'm not talking to myself, I'm just saying it's a mark. Greenwood a bit too deep here. I don't like what's Greenwood doing in his own half. Get back up front, Mason. You're the number 9. I don't like it when our strikers come deep. I see it as it's a frustration thing. When they start to come deep, it's a frustration thing, I think. So he's really deep again now. Oh, terrible ball by Lindelof to Bamford. Lazy. Nice switch of the play by Leeds. Oh, we'll get a throw in there. Bit lazy, Lindy, Vicky, Victor, Vic. We've been better, but again, too many touches, says Diviak. Yeah, I think we still... I mean, my thoughts on it, a lot of people talking about it there. Dan James is fast, says somebody. He is. Meet. Mark, can we say boring Man United? Dead slow, says Vishal. I mean, I don't think it's been boring. Some people are saying it's been boring. I don't think it's been boring. I just think that we do still take too many touches on the ball. Here's Bruno into Greenwood. Go on, Greenwood. Go on then. Into Bruno. Oh, good tackle there by Ayling. If Bruno had got that, he'd have played it into Rashford. Yeah, but if you look at how quick Leeds move the ball through from back to front, we're a little bit slow at it. We just need to... There's a lot of space out there, so there should be a lot of passing options on. There should be a lot of passing lines in a game like this. I think Pogba would love to play in a game like this. Here's Greenwood, bit of space, come on. Look at your passing options. So nice ball into Fred. Oh, headed away. Come on, second ball. Here's Bruno. Oh, that's a foul, ref. Well, yes, we'll have the foul on the edge of the box. Because you fouled him, that's why. I don't know what you're saying. What's that all about? You fouled him. It's a foul for Bruno on the edge of the box here. Pulls the foul in from... what's his name? And it's, yeah, you know what I mean. What's his name? Phillips. Captain Phillips. It's not Tom Hanks. It's he is the captain of Leeds. It's Calvin Phillips. Ivan Drago, left back for Leeds, says Shatty Gaming. If you know, you know. And Mark, can we... Oh, I've done that one as well. Thanks for the super chats, everyone. It's a good free kick opportunity here. I don't think this is famous last words, but I don't think this is a Rashford area. It's got to be Bruno. Bruno, nope, over the bar. Okay. It wasn't as long as it wasn't Fred, said somebody. Go away from this, Fred, says Callum. Sadiq, who is one of the members, says McTominay is not good at passing the ball. Thanks to the members. You can see the members. They have little badges next to the name in the live comments. If you want to become a member, you can do that by clicking the join button, and your badge colour changes every month all the way through to platinum. You also, as a member, you have access to our exclusive emojis, which I don't see a lot of our exclusive emojis anymore. But Ewan Black's a member, and Luke82 is a member as well. Thanks, pal. Thank you. Well, it's nice to spot a few of the members with the badges. I like Rashford, United through and through, but his efforts on defensive is terrible, and he's always trying to take on the shot. It's getting irritating, says Ricky916. Yeah, do give us your thoughts. And hi, Mark, what are your thoughts on Lindelof as a midfielder? He's very good on the ball with some good vision, says Alex. I don't think he's quick, mobile enough, to be honest with you. Kieran Boyne, Nazra, all the members are in the chat now. I can see them all up. Big up the members. Big up the United Stand members. Leeds have got an opportunity to put a cross in here. Ayling. Ooh, corner off Fred. Just flew off. We need a CDM that passes the ball and is quick. We are just too slow. Bruno and strikers need to demand one. Thank God Super Cup is over for now, says Mohammed Idris. Thank you very much, Mohammed. Welcome to the Members Club. Ricky. I don't think it's the real Ricky. I think it's one of those pretends. But it's. I agree with well, not everybody. I don't agree with everybody. You should never agree with everybody. But I agree with some people in the live comments who are saying that we're not moving the ball quick enough. We're not. We're still very slow at moving the ball. I just don't think it's in Fred and if Fred and Scott McTominay liked to wear makeup, passing quickly is not in their makeup. It's just not in the makeup of their player. They're not that sort of a player to do that. And there is so much space against Leeds. Like, I think some teams, they'll close the passing lanes, they'll get people behind the ball, but Leeds don't. There's so much space. If you're McTominay or you're Fred, when you get that ball, there are passing lanes open, but they just don't do it. It's just not, it's not their fault. They're just not that type of player. They're not a Bruno, they're not a Pogba. Shot straight at Henderson there from the edge of the box. First real chance, it's Dallas. Oh, God. I can't be doing with Dallas scoring. Welcome to the Members Club, Chris Lockett, Jaylings fam, and also Boston and Nelson OP. Thank you for joining the Members Club. Appreciate that. What Leeds player frightens you the most to play against is Viking? Rafinha, but he's not there, is he? I can see Bielsa as Tottenham new manager. Bielsa signs 1-year deals, says Yazza Said. And I agree with the guy before. I love Rashford, but his selfishness is actually starting to get restrictive, says Sam. Interesting about that. I think Rashford's a good. I just don't agree. That's what it's all about. There's no problem with that. I don't agree on the Rashford thing. I think that my only concern with Rashford is how fit he is. But I still think he's been one of our better attackers on the pitch. I mean, there's not a lot of service for Greenwood again, as per usual. There's not a lot of ball for Bruno again, as per usual, which therefore feeds into Dan James and Rashford. But Rashford's been that threat on the diagonal from the long ball, because there's nothing coming through the midfield. Our biggest threat so far really has been the long ball from Lindelof. It's a bit, I'd expect a bit better in a game like this. There's a lot of space out there, therefore there's a lot of opportunity to make things happen. And I just think we're playing a little bit like we're playing Liverpool, and a little bit more expansive from United would be nice. We, Manchester United, why should we play counter-attack and set our team to accommodate opponents? We should take the game to our opponents, as Tariq. I think that's more or less what I'm saying, Tariq. I think we're working hard, but I think Flex was right what he said about McTominay and Fred. It's not that they're a bad combination. I just don't think they're anywhere near a top, a title-winning combination, are they? And it's a little bit. They're good workers, but again, look what's that pass from McTominay there? It's put Fred into all sorts of problems. That should be going forward from Scott there. He's got the ball under no pressure, and he plays a hospital pass to Fred that causes problems. I think just play the ball forward. It's a prime example there. And Fred's first touch gets him into problems there. That neither of them give confidence to the team in the way that they pass the ball. Oh, Rashford. Oh, that's got to be a yellow card there. It's got to be a yellow card. Ayling on Rashford. It's a nice ball by Harry Maguire. They're talking that Rashford might be offside. I mean, this is a blatant foul. I think he actually slips a little bit, but does he take him out on purpose? I don't know. Should have been a red, says Bruno. It wasn't a red on replay, but it was definitely a yellow card for Ayling. And that's something to exploit there. Their right back's on a yellow card. Get Rashford at him. I'm always up for making someone's day, Masad. And do you think the Glazers will ever leave, says Ashley Crane? I don't think we'll ever have an opportunity like we've got at the moment. I watched Basuma yesterday for Brighton, and Man United should seriously consider him, says Jack Lynch. I think you're talking a lot of what a lot of people think about Basuma. But they're already talking about Liverpool and Arsenal, aren't they? So, please subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, you're very welcome. We're on the road to 34,000. So, bottom right-hand corner, click it and subscribe. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. And a corner to Man United from the cross from Bruno. I thought Rashford headed it, but the Leeds defender gets there. It's a lovely cross by Bruno, and the Leeds as Bamford, who just flicks it over the bar. Some people saying, should that have been a red? Cameron says, perfect game for Donny. I think I agree with you. I was just about to tweet that, in fact. Cross comes in, headed away by Bamford. Donny would be perfect in the pivot against an opponent like this. Forward passer with the creative brain to bring our forwards into the game, says Dan Weston. Few little tackles coming in from Leeds now. Another yellow card. They're, I just need to keep their heads here. Roberts on Greenwood that time. Cup final for Spurs against Man City. I will be doing a watch along on That's Football if you want to join me for that. Straight after the match reaction, in fact. But United with another cross from the other side now. Luke Shaw. I feel that Man United, this game might be... Ollie said it definitely won't be a 0-0, so it'll probably end up being a 0-0 now. But I almost feel like that that might be... Luke Shaw with the cross. McTominay. Oh, headed wide. Goal kick. I almost feel that might be the way we win this with a scrappy goal. Good cross by Rashford. Sorry, by Luke Shaw. McTominay just glances it wide. Not really. Not enough on it. Not enough on that one, to be honest. Goldfinger.
1, 2, 3.
What's Henderson doing there? Could he not pick it up? Obviously not. Oh, Dan James just won a header. Put that on your picture. Meep meep. He just won a header. 5 minutes to go to half time. It has been a bit flatter than I thought it would be in relation to chance creation. I think the game's been interesting in relation to the balls moved. The balls moved. That's always a bonus. But I think there's an intent by Leeds, but I think we've been pretty much... Leeds don't look like they're going to score to me. They don't. United, I just don't think we're moving the ball well enough. Quick enough. Well enough or quick enough. Closing time. Dun 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 dun. Imagine being Van der Beek watching Fred start overuse as Ben Windsor. Yeah. I know. It must be hard. It's like imagining the girl of your dreams going out with a geek, ugly bloke with no personality, isn't it? It's like, you could do it better. Do it better. I didn't say her. You could do a better job. We need more from Bruno. And you wonder why she picked him or her. You're just like, why? Why? We need more from Bruno Fernandes and McSauce in this game, says Burhan. But you can't get more from Bruno and Greenwood if you can't get more. You need more from McFred to get more from Bruno. We can't do it without the ball. I think people just, you're not wrong in saying that Bruno's been too quiet, but why has he been too quiet? Because he's not getting enough of the ball. Hello, Mark. Regards from Costa Rica. Go United, says Juan. Thank you very much. Johnson says, please play objectively better centre midfielders. Objectively better. It does make sense, and it's right. We really need a CDM, says Pedge. You're right. Give him time. Give him time. We're back in 1989. Remember that? That was funny, that was. That was funny.
Chris Wood hat-trick, yeah. I mean, look, everybody thought... you know what? Everyone thought, put Burnley versus Wolves on the BBC at midday and it'll be a crap 0-0. Well, Woody sat you down with a baseball bat made of wood. Hat-trick for Wood. Clean sheet for Tarkowski and Popey. And Sean Dyche masterclass. Oh, Leeds against United. It's going to be a classic. It's crap. I've got my nightie on. I've got my pink nightie on. I'm going to bed.
It's true though. BBC Freeview on UK had Wolves Burnley. I guarantee if you'd said to the if you'd knocked the BBC up this morning, I don't mean getting them pregnant. I mean if you'd knocked on their door, and obviously BBC is not a person, but if BBC was a person and you knocked on their door this morning and you said, "Do you want to swap Wolves against Burnley for Man United against Leeds?" They'd have given you anything. They probably would have got knocked up. They would have given you anything, and actually, they'd have been idiots because Burnley against Wolves is a better game than Manchester United against Leeds at the moment. Dan James gone down injured again. Another free kick. Do you think Dan James is a bit of a diver, or do you think he actually does get fouled a lot? I think he is hurt here. Remember when Dan James first came into the Premier League and he used to get booked all the time for diving? I mean, that's not a foul. That's not a bloody dive, is it? That's a nasty foul. And he's on a yellow card. That should be sent off. No, it's not him. It's a different player. It's Silva, that one. I thought that was Roberts. Marcus says I think he's a bit soft. I think that was a foul. BBC is not a person, but a part of a person. To Sharath Kamath Fitness, thanks for the super chat there. Vignesh, thank you very much for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Thanks everyone. Right, free kick. A lot of Leeds players have very similar haircuts, so another free kick here. Rashford's going to take this one. It's probably more Rashford's range, really. Meep, meep. Right before half time. Come on, Rashy. One a season. Oh, he got it. He hit it well. Keeper just tips it for a corner. He actually hit that quite well. I mean, I've got to be honest. I'm not a big fan of the Rashford free kicks because the last one he scored was over a year ago, wasn't it? It's a lovely technique, but it's all or nothing, isn't it? It either bangs into the top corner or you get a corner. But it was a good effort, that one. The Chelsea one was unbelievable, though. What a hit that was. One of the best free kicks I've seen in years, that. Cross comes in. Maguire with a free header. Oh, Harry. That's a free header, Harry. He can't get direction on his headers, can he? I think he's one of them people who's very good at heading, but he can't direct it. Like, that's a free header. And he's headed it over the bar. I mean, it's not an easy chance. I'm not saying it's got to go in, but it's got to go on target. Oh well, over the bar. Half time coming in. Hi Mark, thoughts on playing Bruno in the pivot and playing Donny van der Beek at 10 as Bruno free roams anyway and it allows Donny van der Beek to make his intelligent runs, says Click at Clicker. No, I do like Greenwood at 10 down the middle, but I just think that we're just not moving the ball quick enough again. I know we've had a really amazingly shite week, which has had some positive moments in it, and football's been in the mud, and then we've stopped to the Super League, etc., etc. We've had a very challenging week, but to be honest, has a lot changed in the way that Manchester United are playing football? No, we still don't move the ball quick enough from the midfield to the front players. And against a team like Leeds, I've got to say, it is somewhat disappointing. I always enjoy watching Leeds play, and I thought it would allow us to play a little bit more expansive. And I think for the first 15 minutes we did. How are you feeling about the game today? Says Kieran Byrne. Been a hard week for you. Some fantastic content. You don't seem as excited for the game as usual, says Kieran Byrne. I actually think, Kieran, you're probably spot on. But I probably feel that I'm probably more up for this game than others are, because I've seen a lot of people saying it's boring, and I get that. Look, some people won't even feel like watching football at the moment. There's still that massive mistrust. I think that game, first 15 minutes, we started off quite well. I then think in the second half, I think after that, we just became a little bit more like us. We almost had a 15-minute press instead of the 7-minute press. And then, Leeds to me don't look like they're going to score a goal. I know Rafinha's not playing, but they don't look like they're going to score a goal. But they don't look like they're going to create anything either. But United, for me, I think Bruno's looked lively. I do think Bruno's looked lively. I think Rashford's looked lively. I think Dan James has looked lively at times. And I think Greenwood's looked lively. They're just not getting enough of the ball. And this, to me, is nothing new. This is just Manchester United not moving the ball quick enough again. I think Leeds have. Flex, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, perfect. What were your thoughts on that half? I was just saying there that I just don't think it's got going. It feels a little bit like a first game of the season. It feels a little bit flat. Leeds don't look like they've got anything to threaten us, really. They just don't look very creative at all. Although I think they've moved the ball around better. But United, we almost seem to be just reliant on a long ball to get Rashford in. There's nothing coming through. Yeah, there's nothing coming through the midfield. I think if you brought a Donny or a Pogba on, I think we'd see a different United. I think you should just do that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like we said about the reasons why it was fair play with the team that he went. I'm not going to, be a hypocrite about that. But you have to then react, like I said, how the game is patterning out. And, Leeds, to be fair, haven't actually played with that. They haven't played that quick. They haven't rushed us that much. And we've been in control, I would say. It's just the quality. I think what we can see, because of the man-for-man marking and the one-on-ones all over the pitch, what you're basically saying is that it's down to beating a man. Because, the plus side of that man-to-man thing is that, there's accountability. You can press easier because you've only got one thing to look at. But the downside of it is, if you get beat in your battle, one-on-one, if you're doing one-on-one marking all over the pitch, there's holes going to open up. So you need players who can beat players one-on-one, and Pogba's one of them. I think you can trust him in centre mid by the way this game's gone. Rashford is trying. He's still just looking a little bit like he's not quite there, the intensity of the runs. Dan James is doing okay. He's winning fouls. He's doing the simple things right. Greenwood, they're all doing the simple things right. But the final quality, there's just not enough quality in the build-up play in the final ball. But this is the perfect game for Pogba. Like I said, because they're doing one-on-one all over the pitch, you're then saying that you need to beat your man. Whoever has the ball, you need to protect the ball, whatever, but you need to be able to beat that one man who's marking you. So this is the perfect time for Paul Pogba, in my opinion. But what I would say is I would actually put him centre mid for one of McTominay or Fred. They're not. Yeah. It's not that type of game where usually they're at it and they're turning the screw. It's pressure. I think if Pogba comes into that, he gets on the half turn with someone up his arse and trusts his ability and spins them, then we're in.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think that I would almost make a double substitution. I would get Pogba and Donny on, and I would take McTominay and James off. And the reason I would do that is that the pace of Dan James really isn't working down that side. I think the pace of Rashford's been a threat on the other side, and I think that with Donny there and Pogba on there, we start to move the ball a bit quicker, and we'll start to see more chances. I just think it's the same old story. I mean, I don't even want to dwell on it too much. I think it's the same old story where I think Greenwood has looked okay, James has looked okay, Rashford's looked okay. I think Bruno's looked good when we've got the ball to him. But it's just not coming forward enough. I mean, there was a time in the second, about half an hour in, McTominay's running away from our penalty box. Everything's in front of him, and he squares it to Fred, and Fred's suddenly in shit. It's like, what? Fred's like, what the fuck are you giving it me there for?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Those two players again. They're just. I think Fred's been okay, actually. I think McTominay...
Fred's done his job. Fred's done a couple of things that nobody would talk about, like a couple of interceptions that could have led to good opportunities for them, and just being in the right place at the right time. But often that doesn't really get a lot of praise because it doesn't stand out. No. Like we're saying... I think
Fred's been decent.
He has been decent for what he's there to do.
I'd like him to get the ball forward quicker, but he's never going to do that. And to be fair, neither's McTominay, and that's the problem. We've got two midfielders, whatever you think about them, what you might think McTominay had a bad half and Fred had a good half, and I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you. But the problem with both of them is that neither of them move the ball quick enough to the front players. And there's no excuse for me, Flex, because I think when you're playing Burnley or even if you're playing Chelsea, they might be well organised, get people behind the ball, and the passing lanes aren't there. But against Leeds, the passing lanes are there because there's so much space. And still we're not hitting... As I said, that one moment from McTominay is unfair to isolate, but it's the one I remember the most. He's running away from his own goal. He's got no one near him, and everything's in front of him. And he does this square pass that even Fred's not expecting. It's like, is that from the training ground or is that just that player? Like, Would Pogba play that square pass, or would Pogba be playing the forward pass? And it's like, all right, some games you might want to contain it, keep the ball. We've got to move the ball quicker. There's no point having people like Bruno and Greenwood, especially on the team, if you're not going to get them quick ball. Because Rashford, you can hit a Lindelof long pass, and Dan James, you can hit a Lindelof pass. But you've got to get the ball quicker. So for me, I think that one of those needs to come off. And I understand why Ollie tried it, because it worked against them in December, but today it's not working.
It's not the same game. Exactly, It's just not the same game. And Leeds aren't actually playing as intense, as they probably normally do. They're giving away a hell of a lot of balls, kicking out of play, trying to find that killer pass, and just the ball's just running through to us because we're reading it really well. Defensively sound, defensively really good. We're mopping up, we're doing what we need to do defensively. It's just that transition into attack. It's a bit slow. It's a bit nervy. Do you know what I mean?
Is that a penalty for Leeds?
Quality? Nah, I don't think so. I think his hands.
I've just seen it again.
Hands by his side.
If to be honest, I don't know.
You never know with VAR.
I don't understand the handball rule anymore. We've seen the Hudson-Odoi one for us. I saw one with Mo Salah against Fulham where he palms it and it's not given. Yeah. So look, I can't say. If you think it's a penalty, fine. I don't think it is. I don't.
Yeah, and I wouldn't just say that, even if it happened to another team, because that Aspilicueta did one like that against West Ham yesterday, similar, where he's basically saying, my arm is stuck here, mate. I have not put it out. I've just got it here. Yes, it's hit my arm. I'm not saying it hasn't, but my arm's not in an unnatural position. It's just there. I've kept it in. So I think that's what Luke Shaw is trying to say there. But like you said, with VAR, you don't know. They can get given against you. So we could be a bit fortunate, but although his hand's extended behind him, it's still in towards his body. It's just back. Do you know what I mean? And that's probably what saves him. If his hand's out here, he's probably in trouble there.
Yeah, I agree. The lot of people saying there, McTominay's passing just seems to be nervy, and there might be something about that. But ultimately, that's still a negative, isn't it? You can't have a player that's playing nervous passes. You need somebody who's assured in there, which is probably why we should get Paul Pogba on. Also, Ollie out, can't stand his team selection. We don't need anything like that, thank you. We don't need any Ollie out stuff today. It's definitely not the time for that. The Glazers will be loving that. In fact, you probably are one of the Glazers' bots. We don't need we don't need anything like that. Turning us off what's really important. Right, I'm just going to have a quick toilet break, Flex. Talk us through what you would do in the second half, what United need to do, and because I can't see Leeds scoring, so let's go and get the win, surely.
Yeah. But the only way Leeds scored, I mean, look, they did up their game in respect to Leeds. They did up their game against Liverpool. They done their thing. They had a much better second half performance, and obviously got their goal in the end late on. So we can't discount that. But like I said, at the beginning of that, it didn't look like they had a lot to offer. So they can only get better. They probably won't get a lot worse, but they are there for the takings. For me, the key is Paul Pogba in this. We've got to bring him into the game. The quicker we can do that, the better. Like I touched on with Mark, this is all about one-on-one battles. The way they're playing, the way they're setting up, and the way they're pushing their players onto our players, it's one-on-one battles all over the pitch. You let the centre-half have it, i.e. Lindelof or Maguire. That's why Lindelof's having that space to ping that ball in behind, which worked once, I think it did, for Rashford. But other than that, everyone's going in on their man all over the pitch. It was Calvin Phillips is in on Bruno. You've got Alioski going in on James. You've got Ayling going in on Rashford. It's all one-on-one battles. So I trust Paul Pogba to embrace the ball in that, because what you do need is you need someone to feed it into feet, have a feel where it is, just protect it, set and beat your man, or get it on the half turn, drop a little shoulder, bust a little step over or something, and get past your man. That's Paul Pogba straight away. This is the game for Paul Pogba, the way it's gone on. So I think he's key. Cavani's an interesting one as well. You could bring Cavani in up front, put Greenwood on the right. That could equally work as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that going in later in the half. But I think the main thing is we've got to get Paul Pogba on this pitch. Donny's another one. We know what happens when you play the intelligent players. You can even bring him on. But I think what I do want to avoid, though, potentially, is maybe Pogba having to come on the left wing for Marcus Rashford. If we need to get Rashford off, that's fine. But I would just put maybe James on the left, Pogba and Greenwood on the right, because I just feel that in the central midfield is where we can actually get a hold of this game if we make the right change and start playing in the right way and winning these one-on-one battles. So Paul Pogba is the way. Flexi will not do anything. You know it. Why are you wasting your energy? No, I don't know. In the last game against Burnley, you got to give respect to Ollie. He realised that it was the right thing to do. I don't think he's going to do it as quickly this time, But I think he will. I think he will see that Pogba needs to come into this game very, very quickly.
Yeah, and look, if Pogba's been fasting and he's not quite got the energy levels, then 45 minutes is probably the way to go, isn't it? So that's probably what they will do. But yeah, I think, look, if you want to win this game, but also you've got to look a bit longer term. We've got Roma coming up on Thursday. We do look a little bit sluggish, so I would be thinking, let's get Pogba on. I'd like to see Donny on as well. I'd like to see, maybe, it's difficult with Cavani because I just don't think that he's had that. I don't think Greenwood's had a bad game. I just think it's the same old thing, isn't it? I suppose, Flex. When you play number 9 for United, it's the graveyard shift, and everyone says get Greenwood on and get Cavani on. You bring Pogba on, suddenly we create more chances. Cavani scores 2 goals, and Greenwood sat there going, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" That wasn't happening when I was on the pitch.
Yeah, 100%, and that's what I'm saying. This isn't really specifically about any of the strikers not doing this, not doing that. The supply line and just looking after the ball. To be fair though, even Marcus making a couple of bad decisions, just shooting at the wrong time, running into people. Well, there's a lot. We just need to make better decisions. It was just messy. It was very messy from both teams.
There's a lot of people talking about that, and I did want to ask you about it. A few people were talking about it in the live comments during the first half. They were saying that Rashford's getting on my tits. He's always bloody so selfish trying to get a shot off. I actually said I don't agree. I didn't pick up on that, but I suppose some people do. I don't know.
Yeah, I think don't get me wrong. I always talk about the preconceived thing that's always in your head. So the thing that's always in your head is, Rashford hasn't got football IQ from what people say. He always does this. He always does that. I get that. So maybe some people are more susceptible to seeing it, but I did pick up on it a little bit in that half. Just. But equally Dan James as well. But he's winning his fouls and stuff like that. But I think Rashford's just looks a little bit off it, like just a little bit, which we know why though. He kind of drifts in and out. Like in one phase of play, he might make an intense run with purpose. Other times, he looks like he's trying to play a bit more reserved. Other times, then he'll be on it again. He's just not consistent in his performance level, and I do think that's a lot down to injury. But in one moment, like we know, he can have an impact.
So I saw somebody saying it the other day with Rashford. He's just starting to believe his own hype. He's becoming like Ronaldo, where he plays in fits and spurts and stuff. And I was like, no, you're half right. He's the word fit. I just don't think he's fit. It's a long time since it's a long time since we've seen Rashford fit. I think, and look, maybe there is scrutiny to be had in relation to. I think sometimes does Rashford track back as the left-sided player as much as a Dan James does? Probably not, to be fair, but. I do think that it's blatantly obvious that he's not fit. So, but having said that, I think that probably the 2 best areas of scoring have come from those diagonals that we've seen from Lindelof, which is effectively long ball. I mean, Pogba's warming up as well. I don't think we'll see it straight away at the start, but
that's good that he's warming up though. That means Ollie is onto it.
I think we'll either have a really good second half or we'll nick it 1-0, Flex. I think it's that sort of game.
Yeah. I think that 3-2 kind of high-scoring game has gone out the window, and I know Ollie said it definitely won't be 0-0, and it still might not be, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a belter. But it does look like it's going to be quite a low-scoring match, especially with 45 minutes to go. But what I will say, like I said to you just before you went there, you can't disrespect Leeds completely because they did up their level against Liverpool in the second half. They can go, Bielsa won't be happy with that. Leeds weren't their normal self. They weren't as energetic. They weren't getting after us as much as they normally would, and they were giving a lot of balls away and making it quite easy for us, which is why we're even more frustrating because they were there in that half, but we were just as sloppy as they were. So yeah, hopefully we get some goals, man. We need to get that first goal.
Maybe we're over-analysing it a bit, but I do look at Rashford. I was looking at him there, and there just seems to be something in his demeanour that's just a little bit like...
It's just a bit off. It's a bit off, isn't it?
Might be pain. It might be pain.
That's what I'm saying. Even when, you know what? I know you can look into things, like you say, over-analysing. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be completely wrong. Little things like when it's out for a throw-in and then they're just watching him just kind of walking. It just don't look right. It just don't look right. It looks like we're managing his injury,
Yeah.
Which is what we've got to do. So.
All right, mate. Well, I know we've got a different plan for today, haven't we? So you'll be doing the fan cams. They'll be going up after my match reaction, and then we'll be doing the forum show at 7:30 tonight to discuss not just the game today, but the whole week with the crew. So we'll see on the fan cams, and then we'll see at 7:30 live.
100%. Cool. Peace.
Cheers, mate. Speak to you in a bit.
Nice one.
Big up to flex for that. So, yep, I'd forgotten to tell everybody about that as well. I will tell you about that. So, because I'm a match reaction straight after the game, player ratings, we'll get them up in the second half for you as usual. Then fan cams will be going up from people like Ricky and Beth and Flex. And then instead of the fan forum show, we'll be doing that a little bit later, because I know a lot of people will probably be watching the Carabao Cup as well. So we'll be discussing the whole sort of week. So there we go. Same 11 as Manchester United there. So you get an 8 o'clock show tonight, effectively, on the United stand. So tune in for that. Line of duty at 9 o'clock tonight as well. If you're interested, I'm not doing a watch along for that. What I'd pay for Ollie to start with Matic and Donny, Paul and Bruno in the midfield, says Dan McCall. I think the diamond days are gone. Diamonds aren't forever with Ollie. But no changes in the second half. I do think certain players, you know, I mean, Henderson's had nothing to do again. I actually expected him to have some stuff to do today. I mean, it's another game where defensively United have been. It's the same old adage, isn't it? You know, when we don't look like we're going to concede, do we look like we're going to score? We're very good at keeping clean sheets, aren't we? But we're not very good at going and winning by 3 or 4 goals. I think this has got like 1 or 2-0 written all over it. I can't see Leeds scoring. I think Dean Anderson could have been out there in his pyjamas. It's that comfortable, but it's not rocket science. If you don't play expansive football, you're probably not going to concede many goals because you're playing percentage football. If you play a little bit more expansive, you're probably going to leave a bit more space. So Henderson would be busier probably if we brought Pogba or Donny on for McTominay, because we play more expansive. But because we play McTominay and Fred, we're not more expansive, so we don't concede many chances. Here's Dan James. No, he's lost it. He's needed to move that quicker, Dan. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner if you're watching. We'll do player ratings. I'll get the player ratings website up and running. Well, the web page up and running in about 20 minutes. You can vote for your player ratings, marking every player out of 10, 6 being the average. If you're playing United stand picks, there is a live leaderboard, so you can see how you're doing in relation to that. I would imagine there's not as many points as you thought so far. McTominay with a strong shoulder barge there. One thing McTominay is big and powerful. Skibby-doo. Luke Shaw looking to play the 1-2 there. Look, has Greenwood gone to the wing and Rashford down the middle now? No, Rashford's on the right. Interchangeability between the front three. Lovely turn by Greenwood. This is a goal. Oh, Dan! Bruno. We were through 1-on-1 there. Bruno's not happy. They were through 1-on-1. It's a lovely ball by Greenwood and Dan James just gets in the way. He fucks it up. Dan James messes that up because he takes the momentum out of the pass and Bruno would have been through. Not happy. That should have been a goal. My time is way off. Sorry. I don't know why it's way off. I did start it off at the same time. Let me get it right. There we go. It's on drugs. Yeah, lovely ball by Greenwood. Perfect weighted pass. If Dan James ignores it, it's right into the path of Bruno for a 1-on-1. But Dan James takes a touch and then tries to give it to Bruno, and it just takes the pace out of it. But it's gone. The time is gone. But better start from United there. We could have been through 1-on-1. The time is right now. Stop having a bloody moan about it. Good start from United though. Meep meep. says Simon. Rashford has lost the ball 7 times this match, says M&K Group. I thought Harry Kane was out of the game at the weekend, Robert. Here is Bruno, gets a shot off. Oh, I thought we got a corner there. Better from Manchester United. Mark, please explain Ollie's fascination with James. Love the content. Keep it on, says Res1. Ollie said it himself at the start of the game, and we mentioned it in the preview. Leeds leave a lot of space, so Dan James is quick. There's very few games that suit Dan James, and Leeds he played well against at Old Trafford in December. So I think he was like of the opinion that the space would suit Dan James. And Dan James is a Manchester United player. He's paid good money. You can't just refuse to pick Dan James every game. This is probably one of the one games where you could pick Dan James. So I understand why he's picked him, just not having a good game. Bielsa's not looking happy. Ollie is stupid picking McFred ahead of Van der Beek, says Diconi, and make the subs. Do you recommend Line of Duty, Mark? I do, yeah, it's good. And he can refuse to pick James. He does it all the time to Donny, says Michael Tonko. But look, Dan James hasn't played for quite a while. What I'm saying is he clearly picked Dan James for this game because Leeds are wide open and there's a lot of space to run into. So it's not worked, but I can see why he did it. He doesn't pick Dan James against that often, does he? Nice between Greenwood there. Lovely play by Greenwood. And could have been a foul, but he's not giving it. Made a meal soon up on Sunday. Got a lot of things to learn. Leeds switching it out to the left. It's alright, I'm just blocking a few people in the live comments at the moment. Either you're very thick keeping on going on about the clock, or you're just trolls who are getting blocked, because the clock is absolutely spot on. 8 minutes 48 into the second half, and we're 53 minutes and 51. That means we're 8 minutes and 53 into the second half. We've done this for 5 years. We don't do 54, 53 minutes. We just do 45 minutes second half and first half. That's what we do. I think people need to go back to school. I've not blocked so many people in ages. It's quite good. It's quite a good feeling actually. I feel like a dictator, like the Glazers. Just going through blocking people. It's great. Loving it. Manchester United with the free kick in the middle of the pitch there. He does need to make some changes. But I think United have been better this second half. Oh. Passing shite there. Do you think there's an excuse for Manchester United that they've been impacted by the week? I don't know. These constant long balls from Lindelof are getting a bit boring. One's good, but I think 3 or 4. They're getting a bit tiresome, aren't they? Well, in Greenwood, I think Greenwood's played well this half. Well done. McTominay's made a good run there. Rashford, he's going to shoot. He's definitely going to shoot, and he gets blocked. I think Rashford does need to mix it up a bit sometimes. It's you can tell from his body shape when he's going to shoot, and I think sometimes he's got that in him, hasn't he, where he fakes to shoot and then doesn't shoot, and I think that's not a bad idea for Rashi in this game. Just switch it up a little bit. Here we go. Bruno! Oh, just wide. Getting frustrated, Bruno. You don't want to see him when he's angry. You'd hate him when he's angry. I think Bob's right. I'm not really being critical of Lindelof. I think Lindelof's hitting these long balls because McFred are incapable of bloody getting the game moving quick enough. The balls are Lindelof's, says MUFC. Nick P says, Bruno without Pogba or Donny near him interchange. He's not the same player. He's trying to play 1-2s with Dan James. We need to give Bielsa a bit of credit. This is not how Leeds played at Old Trafford. This is why we need to have a style and not play according to the opponent. No way Leeds we're going to play open, says Sharath Kamath Fitness. I think Rashford and Dan James both need to come off. Bring on Cavani and Van der Beek, says Kieran Henderson. Yeah, I think you're right, Sharath. I think Leeds have played a little bit different to how they normally play, but the passing lanes are still there. And when I say the lanes, the space is still there. Like Maguire's done this a few times. He sprints forward and then that's a decent ball out to Rashford. But that's lovely play by Leeds. Oh, that's first class. But it was a throw-in. Take Rashford off, says it's gaming. I haven't stopped playing Grand Theft Auto. No, Harrison. I don't know whether you've noticed the last week, but I've been streaming a hell of a lot more, so I'm tired. So I'm not staying up until 1 o'clock in the morning playing Grand Theft Auto at the moment. So it will be back. I have said this to people before. Substitutions now, says Amit. McTominay's injured here. Hurt his ankle. Let's have a look. Oh, it's just a little bit late by Phillips, but he's all right. He's up. I would like to see a substitution. Please get Donny and Pogba on. Greenwood, good tackle. I mean, we've sort of got them penned in at the moment, Leeds, but second half FC, I think we actually have been better second half. Got to be honest. Meet. Well done, McTominay. There's a foul. He shoots it over. Leeds will score, then United will play the prime Brazil, says Winnie, the Pandora. Mark is sexy, says Dan James has been good this game. Well, I can't disagree with someone whose username is Mark is sexy. So, yeah, Pogba's warming up, but he doesn't look like he's nearly ready. Cavani looks like he's getting nearly ready, which I think is the wrong sub. I don't think Cavani's the sub to bring. It's the midfield that's the problem. Get Donny on. Ollie in games management is shocking, says M&K Group. We are second in the league, mate. You know, I know we've all had a very frustrating week. I did say that frustration would come out in this game because it's been a frustrating week. But, you know, perspective's important. It's been a difficult week. It's the perfect game for Donny, though. I agree with a lot of people are saying that in the chat. And let's not forget, Donny did play well in the last game against Burnley. It's not like he's a risk. It's a lovely slide ball into Greenwood. Gets his shot off. He might have been offside anyway. He looked like he was coming from an offside position, but he got his shot off. You can't knock him for that. He might be onside there, actually. Do you think we can still win the title? No. Sorry for that, Tawonga. Good super chat, but no. Leeds on the attack here with Costa. And that's an easy... Oh, I thought Henderson would have come for that there. Last week he would have come for that. It's almost like he's been told not to come for stuff now. Nice ball to Rashford again. That long ball over the top. Lays it off. Dan James. Hit it first time, Dan. Hit it first time, Dan. Come on. Rashford's done everything right there. Hit it first time. You're not in the Championship. You're in the Premier League. He's got to hit that first time. Oh, roof of the net from Costa. Bruno's going mad at something. I think he's going mad. I think Bruno's giving Dan shit constantly. He's picking on Dan James, Bruno. I think he's telling him off again. Bruno's had to come back and do Dan James' job. Good shot, and it could have deflected in over Dean Henderson. It goes for a corner, but Bruno's going mad about something. And he's probably going mad about Dan James not hitting that first time. Hit it first. He's got to hit that first time. You can't have a touch in the Premier League. Ricky will be saying that's not his fault. That's Rashford's fault. I'm telling you, Fleck, if Rashford puts that on the goal line, he'll score. Right, corner for Leeds. Half an hour to go. Crap cross. Luke Shaw heads it away. Rashford's got it. He's going to book him. Oh, he's gone down. He thinks he's playing wrestling, that right back, that Ivan. Ivan Drago at left back for Leeds. He's got to hit the ground. He can't believe it. Can't believe he's been booked. You have been booked. He belongs in a ring. A wrestling ring. Overactor. Not happy. Alioski. Not happy with that. But it is a booking. Times are hard when things have got no meaning. I'm gonna keep it from my own. Yeah, he should have made some subs by now, really. I mean, I'm not saying we're not going to win the game, but you can't... Look, United should win this game. People will say Ollie's right if we win the game and he doesn't make subs. I don't necessarily think you are right just because you win. Like, there's more chance of us winning this game if we make the changes. Of course, we might still win it without making the changes, but make some bloody changes, for God's sake. Bruno probably pissed and should keep team that looked so okay last week. How can Donny van de Beek and Pogba be benched for James, says Andy and Bruno. Dan James didn't track back, Mark, says Vignesh. Well, to be fair, I don't think Dan James can track back from that when he's just missed a good chance. He's right the other end right up the other end of the pitch. It's a nice layoff there by Bruno. Good play. It's a decent cross. No, headed away. Well done, Greenwood. I think Greenwood's had a good game, I think Greenwood's really tried to get involved in the game. Probably coming too deep too often. I don't really like it, but he's really... Probably should have had an assist. Another free kick here. Leeds are giving a lot of free kicks up. I think Rashford will hit this. Greenwood giving Alioski a little bit there. Throw Joel Glazer in the midfield. He's great at shutting teams down, says Kieran Henderson. Thanks for the super chats, everybody. Thanks everyone who's become a member today as well. Right, I think Rashford's going to... No, Bruno's going to hit this, I think. They sort of take it in turns, don't they? But I actually think this might suit Rashford more. It's that sort of It's that sort of distance. Cavani and Van der Beek for James and Fred equals 3 goals, says Mr. Fur. Well done, Luke Shaw. That's another foul. A lot of fouls in this game. A lot of stop starts. I don't know why Bruno didn't shoot there. Some little chip to Rashford. Ollie needs to put subs on in time for some fresh legs, says Ricky. And if you have trouble sleeping out, the United game is on, says Matthew D. This is too many touches from Dan James there. If you're not going to whip the cross in, why take 4 or 5 touches to pass it back to your fullback? Let's do it first time. Oh, is Maguire a little bit late here? Yellow card. I mean, this is one of those ones that in the modern game could be a red. Nah, it's not a red. No way. Yellow card. Roberts. On Maguire and Roberts, just a little bit late. I don't even think it's a yellow, to be honest. I don't think that is even a free kick. I agree with Ad Smith. I don't even know how that's a free kick on Maguire. He's had 10 yellow cards for Maguire now. Does that mean he gets a ban? Dan, get off, says Stephen Graham. Well, Leeds have made a substitution. Harrison comes off and Paveda comes on, but still no subs from Ollie. It is frustrating, isn't it? I still think we can win the game with this 11 that we've got on the pitch, and we should have done. When Ollie is going to do the sub, Cavani and Pogba should have at least 25 minutes, says Mr. Bra. What does McTominay have on Ollie? He's at best a squad rotation player, says Tom Earns. I've not really noticed McTominay this half. I think he made a... I've not really noticed him this half. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maguire misses the Liverpool game. Well, it'd be Bailly, won't it? Yeah. Although one of our members, Old Sacrifice, says it's increased to 15 towards the end of the season. I don't think it would go up to 15, but I might be wrong. Oh, it's 50, it is 15 now. So I don't think he is out then, by the sounds of it. I mean, it must be hard to get 15 yellow cards in a 38 game season. That's like 1 every 2 games, isn't it? But maybe. Dan James Wayne says Dan James spends more time on the floor. Well, I can't see any activity for Man United yet on the bench. It's surprising. It is surprising, the lack of substitutions, isn't it? Foul by Wan-Bissaka there. Nice switching of the play. Greenwood again. I to be honest, I'm of a mind. I'd say so far, Greenwood's probably my man of the match. And I'm not saying there's a lot of choice, but I'd say Greenwood's probably my man of the match. He's the one player that's running around everywhere, trying to get things going and getting involved. Here he is again. I thought that was surely a foul. Need to be careful here. The quality of the game's been a bit shit though, hasn't it? From both sides. Luke Shaw's played very well. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's played well as well. Another player down injured here. I told you before, no subs till 83, 84 minutes, says John Sheenan. Bamford's been booked as well. 20 minutes to go. Player ratings will be going up soon. We'll be talking about that. If you're going to be watching the Carabao Cup, I am doing a watch along for that at 4:30 on That's Football. It'll be quite a tight turnaround, but we will do it. I thought someone was saying to me in the live comments, make some subs. I would. I'd love to make some subs. I'm not in charge. Got Ollie's number actually. Hello, Ollie. It's Marky. Well, it's Mark, but you call me Marky. Get some subs on, mate. Come on. What's going on? You know, everyone's behind you because the Glazers are a bunch of prats. But don't ruin it by not making any subs. Well, what do you mean you've been talking about it for 20 minutes with Karaki? Be decisive, Ollie. Tell him who's boss. Tell him you're the boss, Ollie. Tell Karaki to shut up and you just get the subs on. Well, it's not my job. McTominay off. What do you mean Sir Alex will tell you off? McTominay off and Dan James off. You pick. I'm not bothered about you. Van der Beek, Pogba, it's fine. All right. Speak to you later. Be around on Sunday. Yeah. They're arguing about who to bring on and off. Pogba. See, I told you. He's listened. Pogba's coming on. Literally he's just got off the phone to me and now he's getting Pogba on. And he's just told Karaki to sit down. Long overdue this. Foul on Lindelof. There's been a lot of fouls on this. A lot of fouls. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner if you're watching. You're very welcome to the United Stand. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got the morning show, the Man United news show every morning at 10 a.m. Might get back to normal with the news show tomorrow, actually, for the first time in a long time. Might not. We'll see. It will still be about the Super League again. But make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And of course, make sure you tune in for the match reaction where we'll be having the player ratings which you vote for. You mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average, and put a star next to your man of the match. Ollie gets a mark as well, and we'll talk about that in the match reaction. He's on. He's onside here, down the right hand side. Lindelof. Oh, Lindelof. That's terrible defending by Lindelof, but it's a simple save for Henderson. It's straight at him. Thought he might have been offside. Fred trying to hit a long ball. It's like me trying to play golf. Just never going to work. Rashford, terrible pass as well. Some of the game is a bit stretched here though. The call to Ollie worked. If only it was real. I'd do it every day. I'd do it every half. Well, Ollie jinxed this. Ollie jinxed this, didn't he? With it won't be 0-0. If you believe in jinxes, which I don't. I like to balance on my chair. Works your core. Go on, Dan. Go on then, Dan. Out to Rashford. Overlap to Luke Shaw. Come on. Come on. He's in. Shaw, cut it back, Luke. Cut it back. Oh, Bruno. It's out for a goal kick. Bruno's not happy today. 75 minutes and we still haven't had a sub. Lovely play between Rashford and Bruno. Rashford and Luke. (21) Dan James is coming off for Pogba. So he's still not going to change the midfield too. We're still not at the level where we go beyond group or max quarterfinals in the Champions League. We're slow, not intelligent, no awareness of spaces and still few average players, says Varun. Mark, why does Bielsa always sit down like he's got constipation, says Toan. And if McFred can't add value against Leeds, what's the point of them? This game has just proved that the 6-2 game was a one-off. Get Donny or Pogba on. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Player ratings is open. You can actually start voting now. I suppose you might want to do that. UnitedStand.com. I'll pop the link in the video description for you anyway. Luke Shaw, little slip into Greenwood. He's got it in the box and he slips himself. Well done, Fred. He's won that back. Come on, United. 13 minutes to go. 0-0. 9-9. I wish it was 9-9. Right, let me just add this link in the video description for your player ratings. But it's not been the game we hoped for, is it, so far? Let's be honest. It hasn't been the game that we hoped for so far. I don't think Leeds have played like they normally play. I mean, I watched Leeds play against Man City away a couple of weeks ago. They played really, really well. But in fairness to Leeds, I think that they don't have the resources or the squad that we've got. And I think without Rafinha, it's a big, big difference for them, isn't it? And it's a big game for Leeds as well. I mean, maybe Bielsa's just gone, I don't want to get beat again by Manchester United. I'm going to play a little bit more... a little bit more reserved. Let's not get beat sort of thing. Don't know. You'd have to ask him. What do I know? What do I know? Links in the video description for the player ratings. You can vote for every man. You can vote for every man of match. You can vote for every player. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average, and put a star next to your man of the match and submit your votes. And your scores will go in with thousands of others, and we'll discuss it on the match reaction when I give my score. You give yours, and we'll see what the average is. Why no Donny or Cavani yet, Mark? Says Salah Ahmed. Every time Lindelof or Maguire has the ball, McTominay goes hiding behind the Leeds players so that the ball doesn't come to him, says Little. Well, I'm just going to put a tweet out now. Good cross. Rashford. Oh, go on then. Second ball. Well, I've said what I just wanted to say about Donny van der Beek there. Whether Donny stays or not, and it's not great the way he's treated. Played well last game. We played like this. We play like this in the next game for 80 minutes. He's not even warming up. It's Greenwood. Go on then, Mason. Oh, watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Go on then! Go on then! Wins a corner. See, I think Greenwood's been fantastic today. I don't know what. Don't know. I said Greenwood for me is one of the considerations for man of the match, and people are like, "What are you on about? What are you on about?" I think he's really good. Mark, what happened to the United Stand kit range? Emailed Kit Locker and they said they don't sell them anymore, and the website doesn't work. Just don't sell them anymore, Michael Pedley. Every time Lindelof, okay, I've done that one. I'm just amazed by the fact of having both Carrick and Fletcher on board and them not saying nothing about how bad is McFred. How can they not see the quality? Says Mario. And still give Donny a chance. I give up with Ollie. I'm done, says Jay Lings. Fam. Cross comes in. Bit of a break here for Leeds. Phillips tackles himself. I mean, Rashford's played 90 minutes here. I've just realised that Rashford's played 90 minutes with his problems. Probably won't train again till Wednesday. Good play by Leeds here. That's a lovely ball there. Ten minutes to go. Yeah, I agree with the Thames there that Greenwood's actually played well in a very difficult game to play well. Good cross. Wan-Bissaka wins the header. I think Wan-Bissaka's had a good game as well. Very, very tidy. Well played, Bruno. Come on then. Come on then. On the break. On the break, Bruno. On the break. Out to Pogba. Pogba playing off the left again in his new position as a left winger. Greenwood. Straight shot, straight at the keeper. Not really much power on it. Wan-Bissaka has played well today. And now Cavani comes on. But who's Cavani coming from? Cavani, when are you going to take off one of your bloody midfielders? I mean, why are we bringing a striker on? Because it's not like we're creating loads of chances. I don't get why we've not changed. It's baffling how we've not taken off McTominay or Fred in this game. Really baffling. Is Paul Pogba not a pivot player? Oh, what a bit of skill here. Lovely play by Lindelof. Watch out! Oh, he's giving the foul on Bamford. We got away with that there. Got away with that there. Seven minutes to go. I feel there might be a goal in this. Lovely ball by Luke Shaw. Oh, Pogba took it down. Lovely ball by Shaw. Pogba took it down. The Leeds player just took it off his toe. Some people here slate McFred because it's fashionable to do so rather than separating the two and saying Fred's been okay and McTominay has been crap, says Pumpkin Spice. Yeah, I think that's a very good point. You know why they don't separate the two though? Because basically it's two players doing one person's job, so one of them does need to come off. Yeah, it's a nice little slide rule pass there. Cross comes in. Wan-Bissaka clears it away. Second ball. Don't let it bounce in the box. Come on. Second ball. Luke Shaw into Fred. Nice. Come on. Go, Pogba. Is that a foul? Come on, ref. He's not giving it. He's not giving a foul. Good block by McTominay. Leeds are pushing here. Leeds are pushing for this. 5 minutes to go. Cavani's coming on. Rashford comes off. Rashford today for me. Well, I'm not going to do my player ratings now, but Samuel Luckhurst, who's a Manchester Evening News journalist at the game, says Maguire called Fred a fucking idiot. Tempers boiling over and stop-start spell. Maguire seemed to take umbrage with Fred telling him to run for something and went all Yorkshire on him. That's part of the game, isn't it? There's no big issue with calling somebody an effing idiot on a football pitch, trust me. People used to call me it all the time. Go on then. Bruno into Cavani. Good tackle. Big kick. Nice ball by McTominay, Cavani, Greenwood. Too many touches there. Too slow. Corner. Yeah, you can do your... Maguire's up to win it. He's up to win this, Maguire. He's going to get his big head on it and head it into the goal. And we're all going to celebrate after a shit week. We're all going to celebrate. Here it comes. The corner's coming in. 3 minutes to go. It's either going to be Maguire or Scooby-Doo. One of them's going to get the head on this. Luke Shaw. Oh, I was ready for that. Bruno. Oh. Big throw for Leeds. Oh, it's a lovely ball. Watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out, Alioski on the far side. Good catch by Henderson. Bit stretched now, the game. Here's Greenwood down the left. It has, you know, to be fair, the last few minutes have been all right. It's been quite stretched. It's a decent ball by McTominay, that, to Bruno. Bruno wants a free kick. I don't think he's going to get it. And Leeds player goes down. And Donny van der Beek comes on for 2 minutes. Piss off. Come on. Van der Beek gets 2 minutes. What's the point? What is the point in 2 minutes? For Fred as well. For Fred as well. He takes Fred off and keeps McTominay on. I don't get it. One thing, he's happy to put him in the pivot. No, Pogba's gone into the pivot for 2 minutes. McTominay stays on. And Donny goes on. I mean, this could have happened half an hour ago. Go on then, Greenwood. That could have happened. Oh. 2 minutes for Donny van der Beek is not enough, is it? Come on. Cavani! Greenwood! Oh. It's been more stretched in the last 5 minutes than it's been all game. Here's Pogba, central midfield now, exactly where you want him. To Cavani, to Pogba. Is that a foul on Pogba? Yes, it is. And Donny van der Beek could do well to get a touch. That's how long's left. Luke Shaw headed away. Wan-Bissaka, 4 minutes added on. Wide ball into Greenwood. Decent cross. Another corner. A little bit of pressure now. Little bit of pressure. Cavani started warming up in the 60th minute and came on the 85. I love Ollie, but not as a manager. He's just not the one, says Daniel. And you think Ollie knows himself how poor he's treating Van der Beek, says Salah Ahmed. If you don't want to... If you don't want to pick Donny, that's fine. But don't bring him on for 2 minutes and pretend that you're using him. No player can come on in the 88th minute and be expected to enjoy it or do anything, really. It's very difficult for him. That stayed in. I stayed in, that did. Yeah, well, Ollie jinxed it by saying it can't be 0-0. Blame Ollie. Just seen a picture. Someone's got a picture of Dan James with the Leeds shirt when he nearly signed, and somebody's tweeted out he may as well play for Leeds. I mean, the player ratings are going to be very interesting today. Remember, they've had a hard week. But please do subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. And we've still got a couple of minutes of this left. I am doing a Carabao Cup final watch-along if you want to join me for that. That's going to be on That's Football. But we have got the player ratings to do, which will be on the match reaction. I've taken quite a few notes about this game as well, because actually, I don't think it's to do with tiredness. I don't think it's to do with fatigue. I think it's just the way we play. I don't think United have had an off. Hit it, Scott! Hit it! Oh! Why didn't you shoot? You've got a shot on you. Why didn't you just shoot from there, Scott? You could have redeemed yourself. He goes wide and plays the simple pass. Why not hit it? There's a lack of confidence there. There's a lack of confidence with him. If you're not confident, why are you playing? I don't get why he just doesn't hit that. It's one of his strengths. There's Donny. 93 minutes, still time. Glazers out! Glazers out! Glazers out! Glazers out! Glazers out! Glazers out! Screw any other out. Glazers out. That's the one. That's the one. I don't want to see bloody Ollie out or anything like that nonsense. I've told you before, it's up to you what you do. But going Ollie out is exactly what the Glazers want. They'll love it. They'll be feeding it out in their little bots. If it's Ollie out, then that's what they want. They want the pressure off them. Glazers out. Glazers out. Glazers out. Glazers out. Glazers out. Glazers out. That's what you got to do. 0-0. It finishes 0-0 in what was an unforgettably shit game. Ollie's got a smile on his face. In the grand scheme of things, will it make a massive amount of difference to anything we're going to do? I think Ollie could have made. Well, look, we'll talk about it in the match reaction. I think Ollie got a lot wrong today, but at the end of the day, it's not. We're second in the league, people. We're second in the league. That's where we are, second in the league. Link in the video description for player ratings. I'm going to be live in the next minute or so with that, with the match reaction and player ratings. So I'll see you over there for that. But links in the video description for player ratings. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average, star for your man of the match. Very interested to see who gets man of the match. Very interested to see what your player ratings are as well. So I'll see you on the match reaction. This video should push you straight to the match reaction anyway, but it's on the homepage if you want that. I'll see you in a mo. Thanks for watching.